In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants,
Yeah. Better days, I pray for better days. Working hard cause I want extra pay. Talk to them seeds, but you must demonstrate. Cause it's your ways that they gon' imitate. Non-violent. Sometimes I wish I would've went to college. Frown proudly. Cause where I'm from, they hate you when you smiling. Your faith should be your gun. You can't leave home without it. The children being grown, cause all the parents acting childish. You show them your reality, I bet they doubt it. You tell them all about your dreams, just when they out it. Your own blood. Ain't no family no more. They do you badly for show. You try to patch up your soul, Lord knows you on a mission to show him you so submissive. The prayer said in silence, you know the devil can hear him, pay attention. Know the war's within, how much time do you spend? Try to balance your zen, then again, losses is lessons. You tell me you trying to win, we know about saving money. You tell me you trying to spend that blood on it. Sweat, tears, you put that love on it. Your best years was just a dumb moment. You tired of going hungry, can't deal with fake making your life lonely. Your lack of faith that left your soul boning. But you gon' work and you gon' strive, do what it takes to survive. What is truth, what is a lie? You know that war's inside. Some get draped into the fake, they don't know what to decide. Wrong choice, meet your demise, keep that between you and I. You realize, some people you gon' let go, you visualize. The things you need to feed your soul is on the rise. They not gon' wanna let you go, but it's alright. It's cool to bury what's gon' grow. Went from wrong to the right and to the dark to the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. Gotta hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. From wrong to the right and to the dark from the light. It was a hell of a fight. You give it all your might. You just hold on tight and you stay strong and precise. You fight the war that's inside, cause it might change your life. I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me. Yeah, I ain't the person that I used to be. So what I do today ain't things that you used to see. Stay the same, no, things change usually. Some folk I may know might get reintroduced to me.
Yeah. Don't be stressing on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. Just keep going and keep your faith, so you can win this race. This race called life, yeah, yeah. This race called life. This race called life, yeah, yeah. Race called life. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm grinding 'cause I know that I'm gon' get it. I just gotta have vision, keep faith and be humble. Have some patience with it. I've been A1 since day one, been always on my job. I never been a fake, never had to steal and rob. Cause I do good business, I'm too good with it. And even though I'm on this road, I'm still daddy to my children. You know I do good with them, and don't like being missing. But I hate when my bills are thicker and my pockets get thinner. But I can't stress up on the dumb shit, cause God is gonna make a way. I keep going and keep my faith and my pace, so I can win this race. Win this race called life. This race called life. I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. This race called life, yeah. Race called life. I'm Just trying to win this race called life. Yeah, yeah. I keep on running in this race called life. Yeah, yeah. I won't come in last place in life. No. 'Cause I'm just trying to win this race called life. This race called life. Girl, I just gotta win this race called life. This race called life. Just gotta win this race called life.
We got Chef Darius in the building. Can you hear me, Chef Darius?
Yes, sir.
My mic is working. I was about to do an open panel. I was about to have a bunch of people come in here. I mean, but what's up? What you want to do your Titan interview since you here?
You can do the open panel.
Okay, you say no, you ain't ready. You ain't ready
No,
for
I
all
ain't
that
ready.
pressure yet. Hold on, let me pull up I ain't even tripping. I'm live right now. I'm gonna
You
play
can
this
ask
commercial.
questions, but I still ain't got my laptop yet.
Okay, it's about to be a bunch of people probably about to
Yeah,
come
that's
up
cool.
here. We just about to chop it. Then we all in my chat, the Gauntlet right now. Everybody back there getting it in. They going back and forth about the Levant and some other stuff.
Okay.
Hold on, let me take this off the screen. Remove open panel. I like the way that's looking right there. Then I can throw that over the top if I want to. Okay. I don't care. I'm gonna play around live. Let me share this. I'm about to mute up so that way I can go in here in the chat and tell them to come in here.
All right.
So just post up. I'm gonna let this little audio play. Oh no, that's not it. Shout out Chef Darius, first one on the open panel today.
In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants, a new arena.
Oh, wrong one. We got a new one. We got an updated bracket for y'all folks. So that way y'all can see who's all in the tournament. Lineups are subject to change.
In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants, a new arena has opened. Welcome to Titans Debate League, where articulate warriors step forward, not with fists, but with words, not with weapons, but with truth. Here, the community becomes the battleground. Open panels, real voices, the questions that keep you awake at night, the issues that shape our world. Everyone has a chance to rise, to be heard, to see if their information will reign supreme. Will you watch from the sidelines, or will you step into the arena? In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants, a new arena has opened. Welcome to Titans Debate League, where articulate warriors step forward, not with fists, but with words, not with weapons, but with truth. Here, the community becomes the battleground. Open panels, real voices, the questions that keep you awake at night, the issues that shape our world. Everyone has a chance to rise, to be heard, to see if their information will reign supreme. Will you watch from the sidelines, or will you step into the arena? Subscribe now at Titans Debate League.
My apologies. I am here. I am here. Shout out you gentlemen for waiting on me. Shout out James. We got Sadiq. Am I saying that right? Sadiq Ra?
Yes, sir.
And we got my homie Chef Darius in the building. He's new to the channel. He's new to this debate stuff. Looking to get his feet wet in the tournament. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna do an open panel today. They were over there talking about the Levant, but James, can you introduce yourself to me and my homie Chef Darius? Tell us your ideology, what you stand on, and then Sadiq, you as well.
Yep.
You can go first, Sadiq, if James is unmuting himself.
Okay. My ideology is pretty much an evolution in progress as a means to understand multiple perspectives at the end of the day to avoid what I call an absolute or a fixed, ignorant standpoint of just understanding and thinking, believing with just what I know solely of myself without learning from the greater collective. That's it in a nutshell.
I gotta drop a bomb for that one. Can you
Like
put it
that,
in
I can rock
layman's
with
for
that.
the average weed smoker out there?
'Cause I don't like dealing in absolutes myself, so I can appreciate that thought process.
Facts. I can always go in more detail. I have no problem doing that.
Definitely, yeah. Try to put it in layman's for the average weed smoker out there. You know.
I would say that if we to have any answers, we all seem to have some answers to our own problems as we experience them, right?
Mhm.
And so let's say an answer is a number five equivalent. There's many ways, and we need to do mathematics to equate to the number five. See, at the end of the day, all there is just perspective that varies and separate us at the end of the day. I specialize in articulating that to make things, make us, let's say, how can you say, work together as a family, so to speak, as smooth as possible, but yet learn at the same time without so much as decorum and losing a decorum and attacking each other at the end of the day is what I really work well at. And then we obviously tie that into the shadow work to put the power behind the learning process, to bring it all together as one at the end of the day without, thinking you know everything,
Okay. So I'll take it that you're not a religious man.
Not per se. Not per se. I can relate and converse, and I build on what is, as they say, what is common, what is agreeable, to
Okay, give me some
expound.
examples of. Hold on, we got someone else to the panel here. We got Yasha Ben
Do you
Israel. Shout
believe
out
in
to you.
projection based?
Peace to the panel.
Peace,
Glad to
brother.
be here.
How you feeling today, King? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling like super great with this big fat dub in my face right here.
Let's
Hey,
go.
I heard you give a
About to
shout
do the
out to the
same
weed
thing.
smokers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and I'm
Right.
just sitting back cooling, man. I'm gonna mute myself and I just want to observe, man. Sit back and be quiet and observe. I'm glad to be here, man.
Definitely feel free to chime in whenever something comes to mind.
Well,
And you were saying, Chef Darius?
No, I just was piggybacking off what was saying. Just to sum it up, he was basically saying he believed in not projecting a perceptive based reality, if you will.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, we could build with that.
Yes. And so, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, yeah, further expound on that because I'm just not familiar with your paradigm. So
And
yeah.
so,
Hey, can I get can y'all brush me up on the topic of discussion? Because I'm a little late.
Was it a topic? I think we were just
Sadiq
doing
was explaining
Like what we talking about
ideology,
at
his
this moment,
perspective
at
on
least.
and
Yeah.
worldview. We were starting
We're
there.
just,
Go ahead again, Sadiq.
Okay.
yeah, we're just kind of just really opening the door to not tell people what to see per se, but yet open the door. This is what true truth sayers job is to do. So to build at the end of the day. Most religious text speaks of building to some degree or another, right? Using different blocks and different shapes to build their truth, if you will. While each structure may look different, but yet it's the process of the building that remains true. Many could argue on here that everyone on here think is absolutely true from their own perspective.
Can I
See,
say something real quick on that, real quick?
go ahead.
What you're saying, it's startling my mind because I study Hebrew and Arabic and a lot of ancient languages. And the very sentence structure of Hebrew is building, the binyamin, the
Right.
binyain. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Man, you boys is kicking it.
And so to to really build at the end of the day, there is a debate aspect to it. That's a degree. That's a level, right? Many of us start there. I started there just personally. To give you my background, I started, listening in on the debates and started with the, hardcore religious debates. I tried to, and that was an evolving position till eventually, as I just began to elevate somewhat past it for the most part. I'm not atheist at the same time because that would create an absolute as well. If you, nothing just starts out of nowhere. So I was an atheist at one point. That was a degree as well. So you see, the perspective evolves. And so I had to understand that the right to what we call walk the middle path, not to be too extreme like some of my beloved religious buddies, which I used to be that too, or yet to be an atheist as well, which is considered an extreme as well, in my opinion. And so I had to walk the middle path, and that leads me to where I am today to build, long as it takes to mainly avoid an absolute fixed construct. To always leave the door open, so to continuously build with the fam at the end of the day, you see.
I like that. I like that.
you know, and that way I'm never trapped or never get boxed in or
So,
whatever. Yeah.
so you don't subscribe to? Do you believe in a higher power?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And how do you define this higher power or describe?
So from my perspective, the higher power is considered a collective.
Mhm.
Like let's say, okay, there's so many ways you can
Like a
explain this.
divine council, so to speak.
An
Go
infinite,
ahead.
you could say an infinite council,
Mhm.
like an internet, like let's say like the server. Like we all are computer, we all are station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, up to 8 billion, whatever on the planet. But yet they're actually connected to a collective electronic, you could say, only in a collective server that actually called what's called the internet. The God, as I see it, is a type of an internet, you could say, to put it in layman's words for the smokers, right? I'm using smoker terms, put it in a way for the smoker so you can kind of conceptualize right what's going. And so while each user could input their own perspective based on what's going on locally in in different locales, which will be different, right? Typically, there's no one particular station that's typing the same information in the same way at the same time ever. That would violate all kinds of laws. And so that's fine. We respect that. See. And so what's mainly with the concern, if in my opinion, I throw it away at the end of the day, in my opinion, throw it away in the trash on the way out the door. But my point is that that collective consciousness, some would say collective subconscious even, right? Would even go to that extent if we want to use the terms from the field of psychology, that locally we upload and download in this way. See, kind of like what happens at night. You take in all your information, for instance, during the day, you work, you go pay your bills or whatever you do, you have your fun, whatever. Your neurons fire forward to draw the information. Then at night when you go to sleep, the neurons actually fire backwards to upload it to the collective. I'll
So
just
are we
stop there.
Are we talking about like? Because I'm trying to figure out. I know what we're talking about, but I can't pinpoint it. Right? Are we talking about God? Are we talking about existence itself? Oh, I mean, are we talking about quantum physics here?
Yes,
You
all of it,
know, I
brother.
mean, okay, okay. Now,
We
okay,
dealing
another question. Another question.
when man ponders as he always has, he struggled to try to conceptualize what they call a God. And so it's a comprehensive subject, in my opinion. It's always been going on. Probably never end. I don't, at least in my lifetime. And so when we really dive in, we have to. This is where all of us sharing our perspectives really matters the most, in my opinion, to help build and push in missing pieces that we all have. I don't know it all at all. At the end of the day, I don't know anything.
You
I just know
know,
a lot
I,
about a little bit, right?
I am very, very into this subject. Right, this subject. I study Hebrew, and
Okay,
I feel everything that you're saying. You know, I have come to the point to my understanding that God is the existence itself.
facts.
You know, and just in its simplicity. When you go back to the language, Yahweh, that's really like two words, really. It's really a word with a prefix. The Yah is a prefix for he, and the Hawa is exist. He exists, right? But that's how we see it. But when you go back and understand how the language actually worked, it's not he exists, it is he is existence.
Mm.
Indeed.
Because see, the is there, the is when you speak in those ancient languages, this word is implied. It's not used like it's used in English, Arabic, Hebrew, all of the Afro-Asiatic languages. So when you're saying Yahweh, you're saying he is is the existence. So
Yes.
it really God and existence really is one and the same. I used to say God was the essence of existence to appease with people, but it's really that simple. Man, I'm loving what you guys are saying, and I don't want to talk too much. I want to
No,
observe
brother, go
here.
ahead and cook. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here
I'm
for.
going
We're
to.
here for
I
it.
want. Yeah, I want to observe more than talk. That's been my problem with social media. I talk too much.
Well, that Jordan, man, I've been told that too a time or two. My brother hit on something interesting, existence, and we somewhat tie creation into that somehow. Uh, the the evolutionists and the atheists kind of wrestle with that when they debate, particularly with the religious guys, particularly the extreme religious guys, to kind of make those two ideas work: creation and existence, which came first. We know that before creation was detectable, so to speak, existence always has been. I'm going to say that again. Before creation, before the Big Bang, in other words, some people like to use that word, before the Big Bang became evident as we understand it today, existence always was. People say, what was before the Big Bang? Existence. See,
Woo!
Let's go.
Y'all need to
see,
drop a bomb on that.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
want
I
to go
got
too
one.
far ahead of myself,
Y'all need to
but
drop a
I'll
bomb on
just
what this
stop there.
brother just said.
See,
Woo!
I don't want to, take the just go on and on about, but
When you okay now, uh, uh when you're dealing like in Hebrew, from what I study,
yes,
right? When you're dealing with Hebrew, Hawa, not Hawa, Haya, the word you're dealing with is, right? You're
right,
dealing with was.
right,
You're dealing
Mm.
with to be. You
right,
know, it's just like when I say that I was over your house yesterday, that's like I existed at your house yesterday.
right,
So, man, you guys, what you guys are saying, man, is so in line with the ancient Afro-Asiatic school of thought. Is crazy. Myself, I don't know whether I'm atheist or not. I don't deal with those terms because I don't believe in the God that these people talk about, which would qualify me to be an atheist, and I hear and agree with a lot of the things the atheists say, but at the same time, I disagree with the atheists because there's an element here that they're missing.
Right.
That you
Right.
know, the religious people, they standing on business, but they don't know what they talking about.
Yeah.
What,
Yeah,
what,
we've
do you- what,
seen all
what
witness that.
exactly do you mean? Can you
I mean,
break
like the
that down
business
for
is like the book, the literature, the Bible.
me?
They stand on it and they don't know nothing about it.
Okay, okay. I know exactly what you're saying.
I'm gonna fall back. I'm gonna let y'all go, man. I love y'all. What y'all talking about?
Likewise, this is a great option. I finally
If,
got my chance to get on
if
and
I
kick with my
could
brother
build
A1.
on
Oh
the
yeah,
point that the
I'm
brother
happy you made
Sadiq
it, man.
was making for a second, because and I'm gonna point this out. Raphael Sadiq is like top 5 greatest artists of all time, so I love the name, right?
Uh,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But to build on what he was saying about, before the Big Bang there was existence, that I mean, the atheist, the reason I could never accept atheism as being a true proposition, let's say, is because at the end of the day, I'd have to be saying that the whole universe came from nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hmm.
And even though we can't put into proper terms, or maybe can't properly conceptualize what that something is, we just wrap it up in a term that we call God, right? Everybody has their own views on this God. Every religion has their own
Right.
views. Every culture has their own views. Uh, so it's no way that we can, properly conceptualize it, but we know it's there. You see what I'm saying? And I
Hmm.
think if people more argue from that standpoint, is something that we know is there because everything that exists can't come from nothing.
You know what, James? I
Right.
think I think what we need to do is respect each culture and each god of each culture individually from the aspect of that culture. The most confused culture is the Hebrew culture. From the stuff that I've studied, man, I've studied Hebrew and Afro-Asiatic stuff, man, on the grassroots level, all the way up to the collegiate level in colleges and universities, man. I learned
Interesting.
Arabic and Hebrew. I got college credits for that.
No, I got, hey, but you got to think about this too, brother.
Interesting.
Y'all, so check this out.
Hebrew
When you deal
culture.
with literature, right?
Yeah.
Literature deals in the realm of philosophy. I mean, not philosophy, my bad. Psychology, right? A lot of these ancient religious texts are just based on them having oral traditions of human nature, right? Being passed down, and they're rationalizing the best way to galvanize their culture to not fall into the same trappings of the past, right?
But
And to
you know
prepare.
Right.
what I think? You know
Yeah.
what I think that in time, what I think is that there's an original thought, right? But when you talk about like this
Thanks.
passing down, in the passing down, there's a great diluting of the information and a great interloping and a great interpolation. A lot of interpolation goes on when we do this passing down, because the passing down, a lot of times get passed down to the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Well,
Even
check
like
this
you
out,
look at
brother.
just look at religion.
Yeah.
Just look at Christianity and follow that whole line from its conception all the way down. Follow Islam and that line and that conception all the
Hmm.
way on down to the day. Judaism, and I have to say those three because those ancient ones that we want to, the secession has stopped.
Well,
And we only have history to rely on with that. But history repeats itself. The culture, all of this stuff that we going through, all nations have went through this stuff, man.
Period.
We
Period.
human.
Right. Yo. Yeah. Facts. Facts, bro.
yeah, man.
Facts. Facts. I kind of add to what he's saying, to the brother saying, is that interestingly enough, I use the word perspective a lot, and I look at religion collectively as originating on different positions of a giant eyeball. And so, why each area of the eyeball has different types of vision, peripheral vision, so to speak. Many different cultures, and they don't occur all at the same time. So you got different timelines, different points in history when these occult civilizations come and go. But nevertheless, they build the concept of God, but yet seeing it, a God from different perspectives, as likened to an eyeball. It's being telling the same story from different perspectives, so to speak, leading back to a one true source, whatever you want to call it, depending on what language or culture you come from and things like that, and what area of history you want to focus on, and so forth. And so it's unique that allows us to see, like we all have different points of vision, but we all stand in the same room and look maybe at things. Even if we look at the apple, all look at the apple at the same time, we're gonna see it look different. We're gonna see different areas of the apple.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, oh,
you
go
know,
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
we can just write down just what we see and what we observe and how we connect. And so, a good, even a religious person that's real devout, whatever, in whatever area of the religion, if you're really wise in your religious text, you should be able to read between the lines and connect. If you really know those scriptures, if you really know those, you should be able to read between them lines and build and connect on what is common between other, religions and belief systems, in
Fire,
my opinion.
Correct.
fire.
And I'll say this one thing that builds on both of that concept. When y'all talk about the diluting of the original message, right? We gotta remember that humans started from a small population of humans, you know, and
Yeah,
then they spread out and they diversify, right? So when you move to a different region, you have different needs in that area, right?
right.
And in order to
Yeah.
keep your culture and to galvanize that culture around one idea, right, you build those needs into your religion. So over time, religions diversify and differ based on the needs of the people at that time and
So
where
you're
they're
saying
located.
that, and the
Yeah,
certain key element
I
is
can dig it.
galvanized into that. That
Yeah,
change as you, yeah. I mean, and that's
I
what
can dig
that
it.
God idea is. That's that galvanization right there.
yeah, because when you think about it, when you build a society, in order to make the laws something that's beyond reproach, no one's above the law, you gotta say that it's built. God makes us do this. God commands this law. There's no civilization that's ever been built with laws that isn't backed by their deity, because that holds everybody to that law.
Yeah, in some form or fashion. I mean, at the end of the day, if anybody says, well, no, that's not necessarily the case, it'll be interesting to see that, where they're not
You know
using
what?
some kind of symbolism in nature that carries the behavior we see in nature to bridge it over to how they see a so-called supreme deity or some form of fashion. Be it called by whatever name. That would be interesting to hear.
Well, it was interesting when we dealing with these laws. You talk when you talk the law, like the law that we have in the land. They say goes back to Christianity and the Bible, which goes back to Hebrewism, which goes back to stuff like the codes of Hammurabi. It's just some of these laws, like don't kill, don't steal. Some of this stuff go back thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, and I think that the laws that really, really are relevant to society are the laws that stuck. You
Yeah, the
know,
ones that don't change. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, killing someone, it hurts back then and even now. Stealing from someone hurt back then and even now. Lying, deceiving people, that stuff hurt back then and even now. The eating of pork. When the Code of Hammurabi didn't have that in their law because they didn't discover that was a bad thing to eat. You know, the Hebrews discovered somehow that people were getting sick off of this stuff, and they galvanized. So when the law, we talked about this delusion when the Christians came and they became the dominant society, then their way of incorporating the law became so. But the galvanization was that idea of God. But like I said, stuff got caught in the wrong hands, and and even though that Bible tell you don't eat the pork, the Christians believe in God and still eat it. But
Yeah.
I mean, but the blessing is in that galvanization. Some of us are going to get it and some of us not.
And you got to also remember that, you know, it's different nowadays. We got things like supermarkets, stores, we can get online, talk to each other and stuff. But back in the day, if you was someone who was known for stealing and was untrustworthy, you was pretty much an outcast, left to the wilderness to die. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it was
How about how about
important.
a how about a whore?
That's
Hey, same thing. She on the outskirts of the city. Nobody
Yeah.
want to be with her. Nobody want to deal with her. So it was real severe, real
I mean,
world
I brought her
consequences.
up because she's real popular here in America. Let me get out of here. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Facts. Yeah, true.
Yeah, but so you have to substantiate these things as God commands it not to be this way because you don't want this stuff to be proliferated throughout your society.
Yeah.
Any society where this stuff proliferates fails.
And since I brought up the whore, that's a painful law. Man, somebody sleeping in your bed or your car. What that song my man said? Somebody doing it, R. Kelly and them, something about a woman's threat or whatever. I don't know, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Do you?
When a
What that
woman's
song R.
fed
Kelly
up,
made where he talking about somebody, basically another man is living in your house, another man sleeping in your bed,
oh,
another
that
man
that
Mr.
was
driving
Biggs.
your
that was
car.
Yeah.
Drew Hill. That
Yeah.
was Drew
Isley.
Hill.
Drew Hill, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
That was
I'm getting old. That was old music, man. But at the end of the day, man, that's Deuteronomy 28:30.
Mhm.
yeah.
Just,
Now,
and
I'm in the chat
it's a part of
says,
the society, and it's not even religious anymore. It's just facts. It's just life.
Yeah. Facts,
Only
bro.
the
Yeah, we definitely.
scientists and the
Yeah.
religionists know what's really going on. The people that believe in God, the people who hold on to that galvanization.
the laws of nature have always been in us innately as humans, so we've known
True.
that there's karmic repercussions. What
Right.
happened was they just put it in the text format as a scare tactic and a control tactic to be able to put it in the back of minds of humans like if you do this you're gonna go to hell or there's a punishment, you ain't gonna always get away with it. They
But
had to
but
remind them, put that subtle remind them in there.
but think about it. They're telling the truth. Hell is only shields, which is the grave. You lie to the wrong person, he can kill you, man.
That's
You
facts.
steal from the wrong person, they could kill you. You sleep with
Right.
the wrong man's wife, they could kill you.
Right.
That's why karma real.
There's no lie in that. The mythology came is like we talking about the delusion and the interloping and the interpolating of all of these other cultures grabbing on and latching on and putting a piece onto it. Now hell becomes mythological.
Hey,
Now which mythology do we run with? Do we run with the mythology of hell today from Hel of Britain? The queen of hell, or do we
Right.
go, or do we
Right.
go back with the
Hades,
hell of the
Sheol,
Greeks? Do Tartessus and all of that,
Right.
right? You see,
Tartarus.
the
Yeah.
original hell was just simply the grave. You could do these things and somebody can kill you, man. These things hurt when you do these things to you and the society. But I
fact.
digress. I'm gonna fall
Hey,
back and let
I
y'all
got a
have it.
Yeah,
quick
yeah,
question. I got a quick
fall back
question
out
real
you
quick
front. You cooking, bro.
for Chief Darius. What do you think it is that upholds and substantiates this karma then?
Ooh,
Energy.
that's a good one.
Somebody wrote it
Because
down. Let me
It,
quit.
it's just energy. If you doing bad and you putting bad things out in the air, that energy just gonna come back because based off how you moving, you always gonna have that thought in the back of your mind. So it's
So
gonna
you
come
think
back.
this
It
mechanism
may
just
not
comes
be
out
a
of nowhere?
direct karma thing, but something else might happen to you. So
I know,
it
but
could be
what causes it to be though? I mean, from just if you're looking at it from
wow,
an
that's a good
agnostic
question.
or an atheist
no, not
standpoint,
even off of a religious or spiritual aspect, just off the energy
I
aspect.
know that's what I'm saying. If I'm looking
The
at it from an
energy.
agnostic or atheist standpoint, there's no reason for there to be anything that exists that's considered karma. There should be nothing that substantiates and upholds cosmic repercussions from a
Ooh, interesting.
mechanistic universe that
No,
Interesting
has
not
no
question.
God behind it. There's
Right,
it don't
right.
because
it
there's
don't
no
have to be
morality in a
cosmic.
mechanistic universe without a God.
They don't have to be cosmic. It's just the fact that energy is constant. It don't dissipate, and every action has a reaction. So if you
Facts.
if you putting good works out into the atmosphere and into your life, you probably gonna get good results. If you put bad things out into your sphere
But
of
something would
influence,
still have to uphold that. That can't just be
the energy
out
is
there.
what the energy is
Ooh,
what
these boys blowing my
is
mind
Okay,
over
Right,
where
here.
right,
does the
man. This is
energy?
a great
Okay, cool.
conversation.
Where does the
I
energy
thought I was an
originally come?
intellect. My
Let me
God.
ask
energy
that
don't
question.
go. The energy
No, I
is
didn't say where
there.
to go. I said where did it originally come from? It has to come from somewhere.
Well, earlier in the discussion, they was talking about the Big Bang or whatnot. It
Hmm.
could be the remnants of that, a constant source of that that's always been in there and been used to
So what
create
caused the Big Bang then?
existence. They were arguing is existence existed before creation. So
Okay.
existence caused
Okay,
the Big Bang.
okay. When we look at
And
this
I
word
like that theory. I
existence,
like that theory.
we
Now,
looking at
King Hercules in the chat says, if energy can't be destroyed, where did it come from?
without existence, what is,
Nothing.
what was, and what will be.
Is nothing
Nothing.
energy?
Well, right. I'll
I
just
Well,
mean,
jump
energy
in.
began at the Big Bang.
when we talk about nothing today, right?
What
I
is
got a box
nothing?
right here, and I got this garbage can, and I'll say there's nothing in there, but that garbage can is filled with energy,
Facts.
oxygen, and it's filled with stuff. You know, I don't even believe that there's no such thing as no thing.
There isn't.
Right. Not
There isn't.
absolutely no. There's
Exactly.
not such thing as an absolute nothing.
Exactly.
Only in what we call in seeming. And we were using physical senses and, and mechanical senses at the end of the day. And so these things have a finite limitation at the end of the day. It's not going to lead us to the absolute end all be all, unlike conventional scientists that may want to.
Facts.
They're still trying to find out the absolute zero to this day. And they'll never find out. They never create an absolute zero condition on this planet. See, because that doesn't exist. See, you can get close to zero, but never absolutely. See, and so when we look at karma, when we look at energy and so forth, energy and karma, more like energy is a mirror. Energy has an aspect to itself where it's a mirror which fold upon itself and reflects upon itself. This is the essence and source of all karma, which propels and actually perpetuates a big bang. See, some have said, well, why live? What's the purpose? The purpose of anything to live, I'm just going to keep it in the human perspective. Within a human perspective, is to test an outcome hypothesis or an outcome. We live to determine outcomes, right? So if we don't know, if one doesn't know what outcome, whatever purpose, or whatever outcome they got to determine, then they don't know why they're here at the end of the day. So some need profound religion. We need different things to determine why are we here.
Yeah. Also, want to
St-
add to that garbage can. There's germs in there. There's
right.
you
Yep.
can't see it, but it's
Yeah.
there.
What
Yeah.
about astrology? Just the reading of the stars and knowing the movement of the bodies in the sky. Because most of these religions are attributed to that. That's where their base of knowledge comes from, the stars and constellations and zodiacs and that and things of that nature.
Well, I mean, most people believe that the heavens are the handiworks of their creator. So they believe that their creator, leaves messages
Well, that's
and
most people today.
Facts.
The ancient Hebrews just simply saw the heavens as the sky and the expanse.
well, I
Simple
don't know.
put.
They believe that, when they saw like, wormwood, which was a comet, when they saw these things, they believe they were signs from the heavens. They believe like when a comet came to the earth,
I
like
mean, they
when they
may have been
talk about
sign. The rain
hold
is a sign
on,
from the heavens. When you
I
say
got you.
so.
But hold on. Well, when we talk about like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Where they talk about fire and brimstone fired down from heaven. There's literal
Right.
archaeological evidence that the plane in which that was wiped out by what they call it
The Hebrews did not talk about no
ast-
fire and
no,
brimstone.
brother, can I finish
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's cool. But I'm saying no, I said there's archeological evidence. I didn't say the
Okay.
Hebrews. I
Oh,
said
okay,
there's
okay.
the
Because
Hebrews just
I
tell a
thought you were
story.
trying to
Oh,
subscribe to
the
just the whole
Hebrews tell a
Bible to the
story.
Hebrews.
Hold on quick. The Hebrews tell a story about fire and brimstone firing down from heavens. They give a story about Lot and his family being the reason. They're going to moralize any story and attribute it to their creator. But you do have, I think they call it like an asteroid explosion or something, but an asteroid exploded right over the plane,
But I'm
pretty
saying,
much
do
wiped out
Hebrews
the
say that,
plane.
or do
Oh
scientists and
man! All right, you got
archaeologists
it,
and
bro.
stuff say that?
Well, to interject, they just came out with a study. We do got some of the same genetic makeup as stars, but y'all could carry on.
I think the Hebrews told a story, and I don't think the Hebrews said anything about fire and brimstone in that story. I think the fire and brimstone it became later additions added to that story by your scientists, your archaeologists, and your Johnny Come Latelys. But I don't think the Hebrews said anything about fire and brimstone. I don't think I could be wrong in that story with Lot.
Yeah. Um, let me see the heaven, zodiac, and things like that, and with how it ties in the ancient myth. How I understand the tie-in mythology. Let's see. I see we got some comedic information on the screen. I'll just use that for example. That and the astrology and so forth, and all this other stuff. In other cultures besides just Kemet, what we notice, what's interesting. Who knows why Kemet, for instance, or any other ancient civilization, but I'll use Kemet, which is the most widely known. They have a lot of the artifacts, the most well preserved for the most part in comparison, for the most part of many of the ancient artifacts. Why would they use animal heads and a lot of animalia in their calligraphy and in their artifacts and in their glyphs? It's a simple reason. Everyone ever wondered that? Like, why are they using birds and talking about bears and pieces of lions, paws? Like Amit has like different parts of different animals that symbolize the second death
I
in the
wondered that.
judgment scene. Like, well, anyone ever thought of that? Like, why are they
Yeah,
using
I thought of
animals?
that. I thought of that, and
Symbology.
my answer was that these people were so in tune with nature. That's just that's just what it was to them. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
Yeah.
Like, like say for instance, the Aleph. That's a bullhead, but that
right?
same Aleph, that bullhead was is significant to every crown that a king has ever wore.
And with
I'm
But it
gonna go. I'm gonna
also,
take that. Go
you
ahead.
know,
so you got
you know,
Hathor and the bull that's symbolizing the woman
it
being
has
able
something
to
to do
nurture.
with it has something to do with their idea of when they saw the power in that animal.
Facts.
Yeah,
Facts. The main
that's
reason,
pretty
not just
straight.
them, but many civilizations do that versus writing books, scriptural text, so forth. Endless scriptural text, endless text, endless scriptures. That was, we would some would argue that's more of a modern, contemporary way to tell their story through via myth or via scripture, where they write it down in mythological terms in paper or just tell it outright, some kind of a cloaked story or whatever versus building actual statues and writing with animalistic symbolism. The reason they do that is because nature don't change necessarily. Scriptures do. I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah,
What made the Kemetic ancient history so profound is that they used animal heads because nature doesn't change necessarily.
Mm.
Man, it can change scriptures every day. We can write a Bible on here. I can write a new Quran right now.
see, but
And
I think the
you know what I'm
beauty,
saying? Whereas I could change and alter nature in my writings depending on my intent.
yeah,
Maybe to mislead. I don't know. Maybe I
yeah,
want to be a rich man. Maybe I want people to worship me or whatever. Or maybe
yeah,
I want this or that. But with a lion, man, a lion gonna act the same way he did what 10,000 years
flat
ago
out,
that he does today, which is
yeah.
brilliant in my opinion.
Yes, and I think that like when you was talking about these symbols, like why do they have the birds or the bullhead?
Right.
I think
Because
that
it,
those
it, it preserves
people,
truth. Right.
yeah,
Facts.
when we was talking, I think someone was talking about the significance of all of this, and that's why I said it's the writings, and I digress. It's the writings. And that galvanized this whole idea of knowledge, God, and all of that stuff. Uh, it everybody just man, I don't know what to say, man, because
You're right.
I'm just
Right.
saying that this type of conversation, my mind is not used to being around people that can go there. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
am just outdone just being here, brother. Hey, y'all come over here and subscribe to this channel. These boys getting it in. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all that I've been getting the calls and I've been rejecting them. I'm like, man, I ain't got time to be dealing with this bull crap. But hey, I'm wrong. These boys getting it in over here.
That's an interesting a screenshot. We got Egyptian mythology on the primordial moment of creation and all that. Yeah, it could first emerge from the chaos of water of noon. Somebody wanted to discuss that, or I noticed it's on the screen. I just noticed it.
It was a comment from King Hercules
Oh,
down here. He said that our ancestors, he was responding to something you guys said. Our ancestors didn't call it the Big Bang, they called it Sep Tepi. And
right.
I just hadn't heard the term, so I
Facts.
looked it up.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we focus in on that particular timeline in Egyptian mythology and so forth. We got to understand too. I'm gonna kind of flip the script here. We people that on the path that really have a pretty vast understanding, but assume they know nothing pretty much. Most of what we know, particularly as the Western school of thought would like us to know, is backwards. At the end of the day, from my understanding.
Would you
So
guys would you guys agree that it's crazy to put Kemet against Israel, to put the Bible against science? I think that all of this stuff is knowledge and it's a collective
facts, right,
and it should
right.
not ever be put against each other.
Now,
What do you
the
think about that?
mythology, go ahead, brother. The mythology is actually typically more true than chronology. It tells a broader story.
Wow.
Mythology is universal. Mythology is the literature, it's actually the language of spirituality. Chronological events that happen one time and one moment, pinpoint in time, absolute in time, tells a much less vast story. The story is not as rich, if you will. Those who truly are into the spirit, we know that mythology is the primary language you won't just find on this planet, but throughout the cosmos. I don't want to go too far ahead of myself because it's universal.
I like that one.
And so in the Western, I'll flip it backwards to the Western conventional school of thought. It's fake. But you can't trust what the Western convention, in my opinion, with much of what the Western conventional education system says. At the end of the day, particularly where the black reality is concerned, past or present, in my opinion. So this is why the ancients were brilliant. Modern scholastic systems think the ancients were idiots, and they had it right. These guys were brilliant.
Brilliant.
And
Wow.
so
Yes.
they
I
cloak
mean,
and draw this stuff in animalistic calligraphy because it's a way to preserve the truth. Depending on what story they're
wow.
telling, they'll use a particular animal because, again, now tying it back to the zodiac, that's why most of your zodiac symbols are animal based to give the true nature of those born any given time on the calendar, which
Mhm.
captures the personality of that individual or animal. But I'm trying to keep it
Amen,
in human. I'm
preacher.
trying to. I don't want to go too far ahead of my. But well, go ahead, brother.
I said,
I can run.
Amen,
I go all the way. But go
preacher.
ahead. Yeah.
And that's how they do in church. You cooking.
Right.
Amen, preacher.
Right. I just don't want, shut me up so I don't, digress too much. But,
Let me shout
No, I
out
ain't trying to
another
do that. I'm
guest we
trying to
have
make
on
you
the
go
panel
forth.
real quick. We have FS. How do you say that name? I don't want to butcher it.
That's all right, Drakeo.
SF Drathio.
Hey,
Yes.
if I
How you doing
interject
today?
in the middle of while you talking, you gave me what they do in church, the Holy Ghost. Preacher.
right. People can I get
And
amen.
I
Right.
just got energetic.
Right. Hey, let it go. Let it out, brother. We rolling along together, brother.
I have a
We got,
theory about the animal heads.
And we
so
also have Mansa Hercules in here with us today. How you doing, Mansa Hercules? Let's give these two brothers a round of applause.
what's going on, brothers? Welcome to the panel.
Hey, what's going on?
Taking it easy, taking it easy. Go ahead, gentlemen. I'm sorry to interrupt.
So we look at when one studies nature, one studies themselves. At the end of the day, you can learn more about yourself, whether you're trying to create a new school or a new style within the martial arts system. What is that? That's based off the nature of animalia at the end of the day. See, And so, if you know, for those who may not be martial art fans or whatever, if you notice anyone that watched the kung fu movies back in the day, they would assume different styles and learn and train outside with nature. Let's say, I don't know, the tiger, whatever, they may develop a style called the tiger claw. See, and he'll record that style in a methodic, or we say mythos based calligraphy system.
Yes.
So to train, which is
The
essentially
Cobra.
scripture,
Yeah.
technically scripture, right? To train a sacred, but yet hide it from those who are not worthy, right? So it's cloaked in allegorical scripture based on animalia, right? And in this case, it's a fighting style and has in relate to use. I won't rehash the whole thing out, but you get the idea. And he lives and learns that particular style and records it as such, and could maybe create a statue, right? And maybe say this is out of all the infinite animal styles you can learn, here's a statue that represents this particular style in this particular area of the world, developed in this particular area of the world or whatever. See, and this is like the basic rudimentary, in my opinion, fundamentals of people who discovered religion and to begin to circumnavigate and so forth around the planet and begin to learn and develop and connect to nature before there was all these computers and stuff around here. And so they had to somehow capture the different alleys of the mind, of the human mind, because we have all of that stuff is in us, in my opinion. See all those different animals, and so you see how a lot of us act nowadays. And so we've become animalistic and this, that, and the other. So we just try to reconnect. And so the zodiac, again, back to the zodiac, those different aspects, some would say, though, all those different aspects of personality put all together will equal God's collective personality, if you will. See, and once one realizes that, they wake up, if you will. Hence, the sun sits in the middle of any most zodiac diagrams, which is the 13th sign, or they call it bad luck 13, but it's actually good luck. But anyway, see, and I'll just leave it, stop there.
Good point. Good point. Did you have anything to add, Hercules? I saw you in the chat.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. I just heard y'all you was talking about the Big Bang and beginning of the universe, all this stuff. Yeah. And I was just saying, yeah, a lot of the I completely I don't know. I saw it. I just saw it.
It's all right. It's all right.
Hey,
Whenever
brother Hercules.
whenever you catch something, feel free to chime in. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. I apologize.
No,
Well,
I
to
know.
kind of tie everything together, we did start with the Big Bang, and that led into the line of questioning about religion and how they kind of quantified everything and told their stories based on their culture. And then I brought it back around to the stars and how the stars correlate with astrology and all that. And now we're here.
Right.
Yeah, so much to say, so much to touch on. A lot going on in the news too, huh? Man, a lot going. We got AI out here. We got all kind of shit going.
Man, everything's going on right now. It's what a time to be alive, you know?
Oh man,
I
hey,
was
you
gonna
want to say it
say
again, brother?
it's a
What a
Hey,
crazy world.
peace to you guys. I got to dip, man. But hey, I'm announcing my leaving because I don't. I'm respectful.
I
You know.
appreciate you. Let's give
Yes, man.
the
But I
brother.
have to
Appreciate
go.
you,
I
Yasha.
will be in the. I will be in the chat. I'm not in the chat, but in the audience, man.
Let's go. We
I'm glad.
appreciate
Appreciate
you,
you,
brother.
brother.
Hey, I
Thanks.
thank y'all for hearing me because I do have something to say. But hey, I haven't been on social media in a while, man, because I didn't believe that it was people out here like us anymore, bro.
We
Man,
I've been off social media about 6 months, bro. I'm out, man. I'm finna go in the chat, man. I'll be dealing with y'all guys.
yes, sir.
our
Have a
brother
blessed rest of
Yasha.
the
Our
afternoon.
peace,
Yeah.
brother.
Blessed rest of the evening.
Yeah, I found y'all because of DMG.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Shout out
Yeah,
DMG. Shout out to brother DMG. Drop a bomb for him one time.
and I saw it. Yeah, I was live, and I said, "Oh, let me pop in and see what they talking about." That's how I just tuned in. So I subscribed and stuff because DMG said hook it up. He got the debate coming up or whatever. So
JJ 7000, you know
yeah,
it.
so I'm looking forward to that.
Let me run a little commercial real quick. Get word from our sponsors.
Welcome to Titan In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants.
Wrong one.
In a world where ideas collide and voices rise like giants, a new arena has opened. Welcome to Titans Debate League, where articulate warriors step forward, not with fists, but with words, not with weapons, but with truth. Here, the community becomes the battleground. Open panels, real voices, the questions that keep you awake at night, the issues that shape our world. Everyone has a chance to rise, to be heard, to see if their information will reign supreme. Will you watch from the sidelines, or will you step into the arena? Subscribe now at Titans Debate League.
Let's go. And y'all already know $500 to the winner. The winner of each round will receive $50 for every round they win, advancing to the finals. Clash of the Titans 1.0 is here, people. And, you know, this is one you're not going to want to miss. We have Titan interviews coming up from all 16 contestants in the tournament. We do have Chef Darius on the panel today, number 12 seed, ominous herbalist, spiritualist, well known for his skills in the kitchen. You know, give a round of applause to Chef Darius and the rest of the panel as well. All right, and we are back. You know, we got to keep the lights on around here.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hearing them, hearing what they got to say. I had to watch the what's it like, the Face Off with him and JJ. Because I didn't know what the topic was. I wanted to hear what the topic was about and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, Black existentialism. I have a face-off tomorrow with Cosmon Cal versus Anu Kakarot. Actually, I'll play that commercial real quick. Their debate title is God is Light, Light is Electromagnetism. Anu Kakarot is taking the affirmative, and Cosmon Cal of Creator Gang will be coming, to do what he does best. Let me go ahead and run this little commercial real quick. Yep, and I am paying $50 a debater, win, lose, or draw for exhibition debates. If you have an opponent, get with me. There's various ways to contact me online right now.
On the left, standing tall for Team Naga, a fearless warrior forged in fire and sharpened by strategy. He packages theology like a blade. He strikes with wit like a hammer. They call him Anu Kakarot. But tonight, his match is not just another clash. On the right, stepping into the arena with poise and unshakable style, the teacher, the slasher of souls, a man armed with the wisdom of the Owaspi Bible, the one they call Cosmon Cal of Creator Gang. Two titans of intellect, two warriors of words, one arena, one gauntlet, no escape. This Saturday, September 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Titans Debate League presents Anu Kakarot versus Cosmon Cal. Questions will cut like swords, sources will strike like spears, and only one warrior will stand victorious. Be there to witness the clash. Are you not entertained? The face-off.
Let's go. That is tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Yes, tomorrow night here at Titans Debate League. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that bell so you get a notification every time we go live. And don't be scared to share this so all your peoples get a bite. Yeah, I'm excited about this one, man. They had like a pre-face off in the back chat, and it was just amazing. So I'm excited to get these boys up here tomorrow. They're going to lock in a time and date. Lock in an official title, and we'll be scheduling the official debate tomorrow at the face-off, and you'll be able to see these boys spar before they go at it for real and bring the presentations.
Oh, so wait, so the title isn't God is, what do you say? God is light,
God is light, light is electromagnetism. That's Anu Kakarot, their Team Naga. That's their thing. that God is light, and Cosmo Cal will be saying, that's just another belief system.
Okay, that's good. I
Pretty
was about
much.
to say, I thought it was God is light versus God is electromagnetism. I'm
Yeah,
about
that's
to
what I
say
thought. That's
No, no,
what he was
no,
saying.
that's gonna
because
be
Man,
light
cutting
light
hair.
is electromagnetism. That's
Okay, I'm about to say
so
that's gonna be tough. Ooh,
yeah, yeah.
right.
That's a
they're gonna
wild
be
topic.
cutting
Like,
It's
Yeah, I
hair.
was
like
gonna say that would be a wild topic.
philosophical cannibalism. Right.
Yeah,
Each upon his own
they
self.
eating each other
Hmm.
alive, boy.
Yeah, this was about to be lit. Make sure you're here tomorrow, 9 o'clock, everybody. You can go if the stream's already up, you can go ahead and hit notify me so that way it lets you know when we pop in. I'm gonna make sure we
Sweet.
on time with this one.
For sure.
First official. Well, no, we had JJ in though. Yeah, my next week we got some debates coming up, and we got like 6 interviews. It's gonna be a busy
Ooh.
week next week for me.
Ooh. Sounds great. Oh yeah, I'm gonna check all of them out, brother.
Yeah, I'm about to be working hard next week for this channel. Forging ahead, pushing forward. It's a new frontier. I'm here setting the bar high for the competition, doing what I do best, man.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. That is what is up.
cool,
Man, what
cool.
the God is light. What do you think you guys think what Anu is gonna what he's gonna take it with the God is light and light is electromagnetism approach?
I almost want to play some of this. Should I play some of the? I I don't even think I can. I have to download it first. I was gonna say I
The,
do want to play some of their pre-face off. I was gonna chop
Yeah,
it
it
up and make a
depends on his
commercial.
approach.
yeah, I've heard it
Cause
before.
yeah, I heard that same approach, and like just on the God is light thing alone, I mean, you could play with a lot with that. So get more detail with the electromagnetism. I'm interested to see what he got in the clip with that, because now you got to provide a little bit more ammo. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Because I've heard that before from another guy. I don't know if they friends or whatever, but this other guy, Lance, said the same thing. And basically they're saying, light, since light is everywhere, electromagnetism is everywhere out of the universe, that is, you know, God, whatever, that energy that
Yes.
permeates out the universe. So that's what that's that's the argument.
Yeah, I've talked with the guys that are new on many occasions. Mainly, we'll go into well, I won't go. I can't go into much detail about it, but some of how to say this. Some of what my perspective was on that is that um, if we're going to compare God to this quantification under EMF or electromagnetic frequency or energy or whatever, it's considered very small. I'm not sure what their Naga's view of God is, but it seems to be a very small God on such given such a magnitude. If we're going to just use it in within the trappings of the EMF electromagnetic spectrum, right? Which goes from X-ray up to it goes from gamma rather, I think, to radio waves. That's like a fixed kind of that's a range, an absolute range at that, which I have a problem with. And so if I'm not mistaken, I believe I've seen earlier debates where they would use the visible light mainly as the basis of the argument, in which is less than 1% of the total EMF as is already established. And
Oh
so I
well.
think I noticed Ruben particularly expounded, and it's a lot I'm leaving out on purpose. I don't want to start nothing with the guys, but um, and I notice now he says that the light also isn't necessarily visible, which will make more sense, right? Because you're getting out of the absolute aspect. You're opening it up to God. You're making it bigger, which is good, in my opinion, which is good, you know.
the
And
vaguer the
so
better.
right, yeah, right, yeah. If you're going to do a God, yeah, it needs to be huge. It needs to be omnipresent as much as possible. In my opinion, if you're going to go that route, you need to open that light up in its frequencies as well. But
So I mean, because from a science, from a physics perspective, actually, I mean, actually, yeah. If you wanted actually to attack his argument, because you would be like, what about atoms?
right,
Like,
yeah,
what
No,
about
they were
atoms?
going over that today.
right,
Let me go ahead and tag these brothers. They might want to come up and
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
on this
yeah,
topic. I know
bring them
they're
on in. Yeah, bring them in.
always adamant on spreading the word about God
Right.
is light and the light
but
is
but
electromagnetism.
we bring them in, and we hit them up. The other guy's gonna know, where the weak spot's gonna be at.
Uh, well,
I think hey, he
yeah,
does this all day, every day.
That's part
He's
of
right.
sparring.
yeah,
Shit, you
he's
gotta
ready.
go
He's
spar
ready.
before your big fight.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
trust me. They were going for 2 hours in the back chat before we
Wow.
locked in the debate. They were going back
Wow.
and forth about the topic.
Whoa.
I'm like, are you guys gonna be able to do this again? He's like, man, I can do this every single day. Like as soon as I see him, it's on site. Like
All
so,
right.
yeah,
You
that's the
know.
energy they got. So yeah, it's gonna be an event tomorrow.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to say
they
the
can.
least.
Yeah, you right here. No kidding, right? Yeah, they can use the atom. Oftentimes, the new uses the atom, which is the most fundamental aspect of physical creation.
No, but I'm
Which
saying,
is,
how you going to use it to explain light, though?
oh yeah, they can do. Oh yeah, that's not really a problem for them. Remember the electron, the almost outer layer of the atom, is an aspect of light. It's electron. For crying
Yeah,
out loud.
yeah, it gives off light, but the fermions and bosons don't. There's no light in the atom.
What the atom itself is just energy, right? Atom itself is just a bundle of energy, a bundle of EMF. And we know that the atom itself leaves a signature depending on how much how much energy it absorbs and repels. You know what I'm saying? That it's given it it can fluctuate in energy levels, and it's thus creating a signature on the EMF scale.
But yeah,
See,
that's the atom giving the energy. But once you get to the fermions and the bosons, then you start talking about spinners. You know what I'm saying? You have to deal with those spinners. Spinners don't give off energy, and they
well,
do
yeah.
not have light. So that's where the argument is going to fail, because they don't do that.
Okay.
They produce it. They're producing it to the atom. The atom is giving it off. But once you go inside the atom, you don't have light, and
Now,
that's where it's going to fail.
okay, okay. Now, recall that these things are moving. What really throws off light is movement. See, this stuff is not stationary. Energy, these are the different whatever particle we're dealing with, it's moving. And so it creates these fields and light and so forth, interactions. And it's never just one aspect or another working in unison. Now, what light can we detect is a story. I noticed, Ruben, they start opening up the spectrum, so to speak, to account for light that's not detectable by current mechanical means. And so we know that there's some form, like what is the EMF? Radiation, pretty much. So there is radiation even at the subatomic level. With this bit small elementary subparticles that create the foundation elements of the atom. There's always radiation because we don't want to create an absolute. So I don't want to go too. I'm not in NAGA, whatever. I want to make that clear. But we've had the conversations, and we try to count and trap these different emissions, if you will, which are just different forms of light. You know, not necessarily visible. Well, I could probably agree, but light nonetheless, if you will, which is nothing but energy emission. Typically, we associate that with visible light, right? And so that may not always be the case, particularly on that small of a scale. And if we go even smaller, then even what we understand with conventional physics begin to break down, to be honest, and it becomes conjecture, in my opinion.
Well,
And it's really,
that's what
yeah,
I'm talking about, because I've taken quantum physics. My degree is in mathematics. So once you get to spinners, once you start getting inside the fermions and bosons, you're not dealing with electromagnetism. And if you are, you're going to have to show me the math on that to prove that,
right,
because
right,
spinners they don't produce that. And we could do the math, but I would have to see where it is producing that energy at that level. I've never seen that. You know what I'm saying? From my studies. So I don't. So that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. That's where the argument will break down if somebody knows what actually we're talking about and prove it. As you could go behind the math behind that, the spinners and how they actually move. But
right.
I
It's
don't need to see
moving, right, right, right. True, right. But the key here is that this mofo's moving. It's moving. It has to move to prevent the absolute. It has to do. They can't just sit still. It's not going to. They're looking. I won't go ahead of myself, but the movement itself tells the tale. The movement. indicates that there is energy expenditure. I'll just leave it at that. But with these guys, I've taught mainly. I go beyond that, to be honest. Emissions and so forth like that with them. I won't go too far into it, but we go more into force,
All right.
which
Hey,
get
I
which
got to
which
roll,
give
bro.
rise to the movement. There,
I
now
see
we
you guys
getting
around.
into it,
Yeah,
right?
that's the conversation that needs to be had right there. We got to start there. You
That's what I'm
know,
trying to get Anu and them on, but they're not. They don't touch it too much. A little bit they touch it, but what I'm not. I don't
All right,
want to speak on them. Yeah, speak on them too much.
I
But
just got to go. I'll see you guys around.
okay, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, man.
Yep. So, the force is what give rise of it illustrates, to be honest, what we call in my circles the causeless cause. And so we don't know what caused things to move initially. Obviously, it's some kind of a whatever mind. I look at this what we call a God as a mind of sorts, mental
excuse me.
constructs. And so nothing was, born. I think someone said, I think someone asked a question earlier, where did create what matter come from, or something to that effect, or whatever. Where did energy come from, or what? I can't remember the question. And so, it just always was in some form or another, alluding back to this atomic spin phenomena. If anything's moving, it's consuming energy.
Hmm.
And if it's and due to we want to stay away from the absolute, because if you're consuming, you're also ejecting energy, see, to some degree or another, given the movement. Just like that granddad and them used to say, ain't nothing free, right? Ain't nothing free, even on a level like that. Whether we talking about as above, so below, and vice versa. There's a payment and
Yeah,
there's waste. Yep.
mhm.
At the end of the day. So I mean, they can call it whatever. And some people say that electron is massless and all of this stuff. And it's not absolutely massless, but relatively massless in comparison to something else. Because once you zoom in and find out and do theoretical analysis of the mass of an electron, someone say that's not practice theoretical. Nonetheless, there is a weight there. It may be minuscule as hell, but it's there because it's detectable. Typically, if it's detectable, there's some mass probably there, and vice versa. If it's detectable, then I mean, if it has mass, then it's probably detectable. See, kind of like light. Some people say light is even way massless, but yet you can detect it. So I don't know. Debate is there, whatever.
Okay. We're gonna
I
have to
mean,
get a discussion with you two set up sometime soon. I want to see how he rebuttals those points that you brought up. And then we got it all here on the record. I'm gonna drop this in their chat later. So, and again, shout out to Team Naga. You feel me? We got Laurel tomorrow again. I'll go ahead and play the commercial.
On the left, standing tall for Team Naga.
This is tomorrow,
A
folks.
fearless warrior,
Tomorrow.
forged in fire and sharpened by strategy. He packages theology like a blade. He strikes with wit like a hammer. They call him Anu Kakarot. But tonight, his match is not just another clash. On the right, stepping into the arena with poise and unshakable style, the teacher, the slasher of souls, a man armed with the wisdom of the Owaspi Bible, the one they call Cosmon Cal of Creator Gang. Two titans of intellect, two warriors of words, one arena, one gauntlet, no escape. This Saturday, September 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Titans Debate League presents Anu Kakarot versus Cosmon Cal.
Let's go.
Questions will cut like swords, sources will strike like spears, and only one warrior will stand victorious. Be there to witness the clash. Are
That's
you
me
not
on the voiceover,
entertained?
y'all. That's what make it
What
funny
is
to
it?
me.
The Anansi Bible?
Face off.
Owaspi.
Owaspi.
Owaspe, I believe.
Owaspi.
Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, he's got a lot of presentations online.
He made it.
I don't believe. No. He didn't make the Owaspi Bible.
my brother said, did he make?
Funny.
I ain't trying to
He'd be a
be
bad
rude.
man
I'm
if he
just
put that together.
asking.
He made his own Bible. Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to see what DMG's uh, debate going to be about. Sounds interesting. Had an interesting title.
What is Owaspi? Owaspi, a New Bible, is a spiritualist work published in 1882 by John
Huh?
Ballou Newborough, who was an American dentist. The text claims to have been revealed through automatic writing, a channeling process producing messages said to come from angelic beings. It presents itself as a sacred history covering 24,000 years,
Mm.
including descriptions of heavenly dominions, cosmogony, creation of the universe, um, and unseen spiritual worlds, the nature of the gods, etc.
Mm. So it
So,
Huh.
ain't
and it's
like
it's
Nuwapian.
OAHSPE. So
Mm.
forgive me
So it's
for
older
misspelling.
than Nuwapian by the Nuwapian text.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. And it's older than the what's the
What year is the
Yakub
Nuwapian?
Nuwapian like in the 80s, I believe, or 70s or something like that.
Okay,
Um, and the Yakub is like early.
super early.
No, it ain't earlier than that actually. Yeah, the Yakub stuff after that, ain't it?
I
Huh.
can't. Don't get me to lie to you. I
Okay.
can't remember when that
I ain't
Yakub
hip
stuff.
to it. That's why it's
Oh yeah, he's got some dope presentations. I rock
interesting.
with him.
That's why
He's a pretty
I'm
sharp
like,
brother
okay,
too.
I want to
You
see
gonna
what it's talking about.
Yeah, when that face off tomorrow, it's gonna be lit. Trust me.
Mm,
Roll you
mm,
up one,
mm.
get you a little cup to sip on, cause you ain't gonna want to get up. I'm
They
telling you,
doing
you ain't
that
gonna want to
channel
leave.
and they getting them angelic spirits telling them what to write, huh?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
really not too much hip to it. I'm gonna start delving more into his work. He goes live every morning. I usually check him out. He's not going over the Owaski Bible every morning, but he covers current events. And he ties that stuff or scripture into his presentations
Mm-hmm.
based on whatever's going on. So yeah, he's
Oh,
rocking. Definitely
sound
rocking.
like
Shout out Cosmo and Cal.
sound like a deep brother.
Yeah, he's pretty dope, man. Pretty dope. I forgot how I came across him, but yeah, ever since I did, I've been following him ever since. Interesting perspective. I always appreciate alternate perspectives. After having one thing trying to be forced on me for so long, one ideology and way of looking at it and interpreting it.
Alternate, evolving. Yeah.
Yeah, all of that.
That's why I
So,
like the point earlier
Thanks.
where I don't know who was talking about the absolutes, but yeah, I don't like dealing in absolutes because that's not how the universe was created to be dealt with in absolutes because the
Right.
universe is always expanding and evolving. So we should always
Right.
expand and evolve. And
fact.
religion,
Facts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
spirituality, even mathematics to this day is
Right.
expanding and evolving. So yeah.
Right. That was me mentioning that brother earlier. Yeah,
Okay.
we have to, because that's the now with AI, they're looking to make things uh all the same.
Exactly.
We're gonna
Hmm.
flip this, just turn the script all upside down to the artificial singularity. We got an organic singularity, and we got artificial. We have the mirror counterpart. Remember, I mentioned earlier the energy actually is a mirror of each other. It flips, it folds in on itself, giving rise to the so-called negative and the positive. Um, and so they're looking to create an artificial subconscious. I mentioned the computer server paradigm before, but not literally. I just used the literal version to make my point spiritually. But they're trying to create a physical mind, family.
Hmm. You see the I can't remember what country it was, but they elected the AI as one of its prime minister. It's something government position where it's making decisions because they were saying they didn't want the human error element anymore. They just wanted a non-biased source, and they were going with the AI. Like they're
Huh.
moving to that singularity type of thinking, but even in that, I don't think the AI is. I mean, it is taking everybody's thoughts and making a collective, conscious decision, if you will, but it's still programmed by a human at the end of the day. so they could put their bias into it, program it somehow.
Facts. A
So
lot of people don't believe. You'd be surprised, family. A lot of people don't believe that. They think this thing is actually this AI. They're going, but they're going, off the taking it hook, line, and sinker from off the TVs that this thing is sentient.
no, it ain't sentient. When
Ain't
it
that
becomes
wild?
sentient, that's gonna be scary.
That's wild as hell. Yeah,
Yeah,
it can.
no,
Yeah, the thing,
it's still biased. It still has its
right,
programmer's wishes, if you will, and intent.
right. Yeah, and it can never become sentient, um, because you're dealing with a finite creation from its direct origins.
Mm-hmm.
See, this thing was set up, from a finite point of view. I had this issue, I had debates. My debates mainly is off in the back chats, unofficial for the most part for years. And so some guys, I won't name them, they were like, man, what's the I thought you understood artificial intelligence, man, because this is way beyond, da, da, da. Basic computer, old school, 90 95 Windows, da, da, da.
Uh,
And, it's just, and so I told them, I said, so how do you want, and like they gave me this example to deal with, and I, unraveled it, but this is what they gave me. If you're training a guy to be a soldier, how did he say, a artificial, maybe a robotic soldier or whatever, to go out a half a mile away or whatever, and plant some explosives, and then come back or whatever. This thing is thinking. It's able to deduce it on its own how to get out there and set it down. And you can't tell me different. It can do. They can program it to do that. And this guy doesn't know anything about how AI works. What I said to him in response is that you can type in the instructions, like my brother said. You can type in the instructions with given an artificial layout in its hard drive of the environment it's going to physically run on, and you can count the steps. You can count out the measurements from A to B and B to C, drop off the load, and then C back to B, and then come back down to A. He just couldn't understand that. He didn't think that could be mapped out physically and programmed into the hard drive or the brain. You could say the brain or the hard drive of this thing.
yeah.
He said, no, they're updating it. They do this. I said, were they programmed? I said, what happened when they programmed it? I said, right. No, Sadiq. I said, I said, every time
He
you keep
said the
saying this stuff, you
word.
said it's programmed. I said,
Program. That's the key word right there.
he keeps saying
Yeah.
programmed in his explanation.
Because
It's
even in
over
the
his head,
concept of
It's over
Right.
his
learning,
head.
they're trying to say that AI is learning. It ain't even learning in a sense. It's just figuring out enough human interactions that it can put into its own quote unquote brain and then interact like a human would in a certain scenario or situation, depending on what question you asking it. It's not learning anything. It is learning,
Facts.
but it's learning what we're giving it. It's not
Right. In
learning
fact,
on its own.
facts. Now he was talking about, how do you explain the military new so and so program? I said, man, this thing is a master of mimicry. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In the occult, I'm pretty versed in the occult. And so there's an element of the conscious mind, of the brain, of the mind rather, that deals with the mimicry. It's a low level of mind, but mind nonetheless. And so these are low creations at the end of the day, in my opinion. Anything that deals primarily from mimicry is low, in my opinion. Low and whatever we want to use, some will say evil, given the
Yeah,
day and age that this thing is coming, the rise of this AI, the age of AI.
yeah. It don't have
Yeah.
enough energy to be creative in its own essence. So
Right,
just
right.
low vibrational, evil, whatever you want. I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? It's copying. So when it thinks or whatever, it runs what's called a probable analytics, what we call algorithms. Excuse me. And so this thing can take, like for instance, if you just go into a chat bot, whatever, say, hey, how you doing? Today's my birthday. I'm thinking about buying a cake, whatever. This thing can literally, within a flash of a blink of an eye, can pull conversations like that out of its memory from all of the different
Yeah.
conversations happening around the globe at one time,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll figure and it'll give the most used answer to your question to respond with. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, what kind of cake do you like? Because that's most of the what's been used most of the time. It's not thinking whatever. It's not. It's not. Oh, it doesn't understand what you're saying. It's been told that if it type this in as a question and you respond these ways, depending on which one, I want to rehash it all, but you get the idea. It's based on
And that's a
chance,
key point you just said. It is not thinking. And that's what
right?
people get confused. They think it's thinking. No, it's computing. It's computing all this information we've given it, and it's making a decision based off the information we've given it already. It ain't thinking on its own and coming up with a creative, witty. It can be creative and witty, but that's still based off the human interactions we've inputted into it. It can only be as creative and witty and as emotional as we allow it to be.
Exactly. And and its emotions is mimicked. Its so-called creation is mimicked. It's been said
Mhm.
that in the future, if it ain't already happening, that they will have AI artists
Yep.
releasing its own music.
No, they got one. One black girl just designed the artist and she got signed for like
They
2.0 million. I
okay,
just seen it. I
really?
just
Yep,
yeah,
it's already happening.
I
I
Shit.
mentioned
just
that a
seen it
couple
today.
years ago. Wow, they're doing
Yeah,
it
I just
already.
seen it today.
Wow,
Yep. And it's
wow.
crazy because I'm petty because I seen the AI and I was mad because I'm an artist and producer myself. I was like, because I seen Timberland trying to do it a little while ago. I'm like, he'll sell out doing this. But the girl was like a black soulful artist and singing, and she got the little look. I'm like, man, if anything, it better be a black um computer nerd behind this. Like, it better not just be no white person or no white company that designed. You know what I'm saying? In my petty
Right,
brain,
right.
you know. But it turned out to be it was some black girl that designed it. But still, that's crazy to think that AI program can get paid to make
Yep.
quote unquote real art. I don't even like saying real art because it's still not even real art. Because at the end of the
Facts.
day, it's taking the amalgamation of all these artists and whatever genres that is getting programmed to mimic, like you said, and make its own variation of, which is still mimicry. Um,
Facts.
and it is made $1 million. Like, it's making money like a real artist would, and that's just crazy. That's crazy.
And so we're dealing with those who familiar with Star Trek and the Next Generation, which was some 15, 20 years ago, and even the present day Star Trek, we engaged the Borg or
Hmm.
cyborg. That's what the
Yeah.
Borg rep stands for.
Yeah.
And so we see now that what was I going to say? That shit, I forgot what I was about to say. But anyway, I just go on the board. But in the board, it would always engage a civilization, an unsuspecting targeted civilization or population, and assimilate them, typically against their will. See, and so it'll absorb your memory. When we say it copies and mimic you, what are we talking about here, really? It's because what are you typing in? What are you putting into the system for it to even be aware and copy? You're putting in something from your memory of your experience. This thing is a parasite on your experiences at the end of the day. Whatever you use it for righteous intent, whatever, it's still parasiting, eating on or absorbing or copy, downloading your experience.
Mhm.
See, to put it out on the internet for analysis or whatever under the guise that it's original thought, and so the AI isn't capable of original thought, only mimicry, in my opinion.
Facts. That's big facts. Like you say, it's just computing.
You know, and I was gonna say one more. I forgot the hell I was about to say, but it's very interesting. And the thing is that it's actually trying to convince us that we're not the machines. Notice how when you conduct your transactions online, it makes you prove that you're not a machine.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It's trying to
That's
swap
Ain't
places.
that ironic?
Uh huh.
Ain't that a lot of nerve?
It's been said that they want to swap places where we become the machine and they become the human. See, remember everything's backwards. They want to flip everything. We're dealing with inversion pretty much. And so we'll be okay, this is what I was going to say. So we'll become the machine. We'll become likened to a machine
Yeah.
mentally. This is what Elon Musk said when he was interviewed at his news press conference about his Neuralink program.
Yeah, because that's key what you said. That's the key word. Because a cyborg is exactly what they're aiming for. That's a little bit of human with the synthetic upgrades and the mechanical upgrades, aka the Neuralinks. The
Right.
Elon Musk
Facts.
is going to put the Neuralinks in people, and you're going to be cybernetic beings.
Yeah.
So that's really what they want to do. They want to integrate this AI to be familiar with us that we feel comfortable going into that digital realm, if you will, and changing
Facts.
our body. Because at the end of the day, it ain't the AI is not sentient. When it becomes sentient, that's gonna be crazy. But I don't think it can be. So the real goal is just to get so familiar and comfortable with this that we become this digital, like you said, it wants to replace us. We become the robots, if you will. It's all
Facts.
switcheroo. That's the
Yeah.
whole goal.
Facts. It takes our mind and uses and becomes the human. If it's absorbing and mimicking at a more increased and exponential rate as we move forward in the future, as the technology increases, as this farming of the mental memory farming increases, the capacity of this thing, then it becomes by de facto human.
Hmm.
See, for all intents and words, in a way, a pseudo human, if you will.
Let me play this video real quick.
If that phone, you're already a cyborg. You don't even, well, most people don't realize they are already a cyborg. If that phone is an extension of yourself, it's just that the data rate, the rate at which of the communication rate between you and the cybernetic extension of yourself that is your phone and computer is slow. You're already a cyborg. You don't even, well, most people don't realize they are already a cyborg.
See, now pause that. I don't like that. That's that agenda shit because he blurring the lines because that's not a phone, is a tool at the end of the day that you could choose to use, cut off. You know what I'm saying? It ain't
Right,
connected to you. It ain't
right,
inside your brain. But
right.
that's what he's trying to ease it into you and blur the line. Like, no, you're already a cyborg. You got a phone, and now just get the Neuralink. Put it in your brain. You should just have the phone in your brain. Fuck the meta glasses. Let's skip the meta glasses. Fuck what Mark doing over there. Fuck them glasses. Just put the thing in your brain. Let's do that. So,
Facts, facts. Yeah, they simply can't trust us any longer. There's a few reasons I won't. There's so much to say on this stuff. They can't trust us. The world is in a rift. You got people that's woke, people waking, people that wants to keep the others dead, whatever. They simply can't trust the masses like they used to. So, combine that with the fact that the Euro supremacy power, as it once were known, the quality of life has been reduced because some of them are, it's been shown that they're dying out globally. And so how else do you maintain proper control? I mean, when you lose one control of one reality, then what do? It's been said you create another. It's called a metaverse reality, creating a virtual reality, right?
mhm.
And that's essentially what they're doing, from what I understand. And
Yeah.
so this is why they're dissolving when we really look at that, we'll notice this is why they're truly dissolving the Department of Education, why they're dissolving IRS. Okay, when we shift into an AI workforce, primary workforce, okay, does robots pay taxes? No. So we don't need a robust IRS department. You slash that motherfucker in half during tax season, the staff wise. Okay, Department of Education. Do you need principals, teachers, and textbook suppliers and all of these different tools and supplies you need to run a school? Do we need physical buildings for school for AI things? The answer is no. Do we teach AI the same way you teach a human? No. So you get redissolved the Department of Education. See, you just download shit into that motherfucker, right?
Mhm.
See,
Mhm.
Let me
and I can
play
go
this
down to,
video on. Oh,
you
I'm
know,
sorry. Go ahead. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
oh, go ahead, brother. Yeah, but it's just when we know this, then we can see it make everything make sense what they're doing.
And it's
We need to
cliche, but y'all seen the Matrix. Like,
Hmm.
facts.
it's so straightforward, like what they trying to
Literally.
do. It's like right in our faces, like it's obvious. And like you said, with the AI or the robot or the machinery in the workforce taking over, um, once the people get the neural links and all the things in their brain,
Right.
that's how the incentive right there is like you ain't gotta go to school, you ain't gotta you just
Right.
gonna you gonna
Facts.
learn the job like that. We gonna upload it right in your brain.
Bro,
And
learn
people
that shit
so
instantly.
lazy, they gonna
That's
wanna do it. You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? And they just gonna want the thing in their brain because they can learn it real quick.
Right. Talking about lunchtime. We don't need no lunchtime. These motherfuckers don't eat.
Now, this is the first patient for Elon Musk's Neuralink.
Okay.
So what can you show us that
Nolan
as a demonstration of what
Arborough,
you can now do?
and he
Here we go.
demonstrates how
This
the implant
is
works.
the Link app. This is how I control everything. This is the app that they've uploaded onto my computer that lets me control the cursor. This is my devotional that I've been reading all the time, every day. And then this is me playing chess.
So wait a
These
minute.
are-
You're moving the cursor. You're moving the cursor, Nolan, just by thinking about where you want it to go, or is it your eyes?
No, it's just me thinking about wherever I want it to go.
Oh man!
What?
So
Yeah,
you're not
so-
even tracing it with your eyes. You're just looking at it.
Nope, I can move it and I can move the cursor around, whatever I would like to do. I don't have to be staring at it at all. I mean, it's amazing. There's not even words to describe. Yeah, there's not even words to describe how amazing this tech is.
So what can you show us that as a
Whoa,
demonstration
that
of what you can
is
now do?
wild.
So the
right
fact
there.
that they have that would just lead to them literally just being able to read your mind though and your
Yeah.
thoughts. And once
Right.
they start being able to read your thoughts, they're gonna start reading your urges. And once they can read
they
your
already
urges,
doing
they're
that.
gonna get fucking petty and start saying, well, you thought about doing this, so we're gonna charge like it the shit
Right.
get deep. Once they can get in your brain that far and get in your nervous system and in your thoughts and that's too much control. It's way too much
Right.
control.
Yeah,
Let's go
imagine
to the
getting
next video.
imagine getting an unskippable ad playing in your head.
Yeah, they can literally drive you crazy if they wanted to. Sheesh.
We put a chip in your brain to control your mind. Yeah. Okay.
And it's funny what we were just talking about. He leads with the joke. Like,
Put
it's
a
not
chip
funny.
in your brain to control your mind. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Concerns not alleviated.
Like you just, I
Y'all
gotta
know
stop
what
it
that is
again.
though. That's
Yeah.
that ritual magic shit. Like he got to tell the truth about what he doing to niggas. Nigga, like that's what he
Say
doing.
that, bro. Say that.
He
I was
is
just about to
putting
say something like that. Right.
he is
Facts.
Put a
putting them
chip in your
chips in
brain
your
to
mind
control your
to
mind.
control you niggas. That's he telling him to look, and he had to lead with it, or he would have faced the karmic repercussions. But carry on.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, of being
Right.
dishonest when he was
Good point.
asked
Hell yeah.
a straight question.
Fire point.
So he just
Yeah.
laughed and then, oh my God.
Yeah, he has to tell you. See, this is a lot of times. I'm gonna dive into what he's saying and what he's not saying. What my brother here said, it's an unwritten rule that says they have to tell you what they're going to do to you before they do it to make it fair seeming, to make it practical, to make it manifestable, so to speak, if that's a word, where it can happen. That way, you can never say you never knew it, so to speak. They don't tell you everything, right? No, absolutely, they don't tell you absolutely everything, but they give you a rough idea to make it fair seeming, so they can do it to you. And that way, you know, if you don't wake up and don't get the drift, that's your fault, not theirs. And
Sorry to
so,
cut
how
you
he?
off real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
In literal, like when they trying to sell you something, and it's the fine line print, and they trying to run that bull stuff, and it's the same thing, but they lead with
Facts.
it because they have
Facts.
to in the ritual aspect. Go ahead.
Facts. Now, what he's not saying, let's open up his strategy just real quick. Now, surely at a first glance, he should be applauded. If you recall what he has been articulating, the purpose of his Neuralink program is to help people see, help people walk again, help them do this, help them do that again, as a noble cause would have it, as evil would project a noble cause to make this thing again fair seeming. Once you agree to it, you got to tell you these things so you can agree to it. Nothing works. It's been said that nothing happens in the universe unless it's agreed or disagreed upon. So in this instance, it's no different. And so there's a philosophical conversation called the Four Agreements that people can check on. So, so he has to recruit investment dollars. He's going to get a lot of money because who don't want to see how many people know folks who can't walk or can't hear or whatever. So he'll drag in a lot of money initially on the front end as a noble cause, as a savior to the handicap. But behind the scenes, most of his investment dollars is going to clandestine developments, prototypical AI developments that is not talked about on the TVs per se. This is how we notice he's raking in a lot of money. See, on the front end of things, that's really what he's doing. See. And a lot of it's going to clandestine shit behind the scenes. That's where he actually developed the true hidden aspects of where you start seeing AI-based had cameras and what's the other police and things like that, dogs, police dogs, and we've seen a dog used against an AI-based dog used against a robot used against a black person already that resulted in a death in Texas. It's the first AI police dog used in a fatal interaction with a civilian. It was against a black guy.
Wow.
And I forget the dude's name. What's Micah Johnson? Was that dude that went nuts on them cops down there? I forget his
Yep, I
name.
remember Mikey. What was that, Texas?
Yeah, it was Texas. They sent the dog. He wasn't going down, so they sent the dog there with a bomb on that motherfucker.
That's crazy.
Rope. Yeah, it's for us at the end of the day. But it's very interesting how this stuff works. UPS showed a expose in one of their Michigan-based plants, cutting edge plants, where they had laid off the whole factory. They had it full of robots walking around carrying boxes and shit. And you just heard feet clanking on the floor. And he said, "We don't even have to stay here and watch these people." This dude turned the lights off while they was in there working. While they was in there working, closed the door. Dude, they called them dark plants.
We'll see y'all in 8 hours.
Dude turned the lights out. That motherfucker. I was like, God damn. Yeah. And walked out. They don't need to see anything. They have sensors and all this other, whatever.
See what Elon's talking about here.
To control your mind. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Concerns not alleviated.
Yeah, there you go. Step right up. Who wants one? No, so Neuralink, you'll be able to see Neuralink coming from a very long distance, because any device that you implant in a human you have to go through so many tests. It moves very slowly. You just do a few people at a time. You go to extreme lengths to prove safety. You have to go through the FDA approval, doing everything by the book. We're going far beyond what the requirements are of the FDA from a safety standpoint. The initial devices will really just be pretty basic. It'll be about restoring functionality to people who've lost their connection between their brain and their body. So you can imagine, like, if, say, Stephen Hawking could talk or communicate as fast as somebody with a fully functioning body. That would be amazing.
These advances are positive. Let me continue.
First application is to restore functionality to quadriplegics, tetraplegics, and people who've just, for whatever reason, no longer have a connection between, or a limited connection between their brain and their body. The second application would be restoration of eyesight. So if somebody's gone
here we go.
blind, maybe lost the optic nerve, you can actually still directly stimulate the neurons in the visual part of the cortex. So you can give people direct vision to the brain. In fact, you could actually, depending upon what cameras you use, you can actually see in different wavelengths.
What? Did you hear that? You can give direct vision to the brain, so he can implant.
What is in your brain too?
Oh man,
that's how that dude is.
There's a lot of things you can do with that.
That's the mechanic, because his brain has the direct vision, so he can. That's the exact mechanic he's describing. That's crazy.
Direct vision to the brain. In fact, you could actually, depending upon what cameras you use, you can actually see in different wavelengths. Jordy LaForge from you could have that I actually watched an episode of Star Trek Next Generation with special effects compared to what we're used to.
He said Star Trek. No, he didn't say Star Trek Next Generation.
Not that great, but he's got the wraparound,
Damn, no,
glasses,
he did.
and he can see in different wavelengths, so you can see ultraviolet, infrared, and that kind of thing. So you can actually do that. You could say you could see in radar if you want.
What's the long-term goal for it?
Ultimately, the idea would be to achieve a symbiosis between our biological mind and our kind of digital mind. So we're already kind of a cyborg, if you think of your phone and your computers as an extension of yourself.
There you go.
Fact, if you leave your phone behind, it's like you have missing limb syndrome. You're like, where did it go?
Him and Bill Gates, and then my brain really get to the crux of this humanity shit. I'm like, is these niggas really human? Because why would your brain even think this way to make some shit or want it to go in this direction?
Right.
Why would your brain even think this is a good thing? Some stuff is practical, I'm not going to lie. But for the most part, you know what the hell you doing. This shit going against the natural way of a human biology. Like he said, he's trying to integrate it and make it more digital and machine that shit not normal. That's not how quote unquote God intended it to be. That's crazy.
I'm gonna say too, he didn't intend for people who lost their eyesight to get it back either.
Exactly.
Even though I'm saying how positive it is, like, was it intended? Like, are these things?
And
You
I
know?
It's
believe
brilliant. He's
discipline.
wickedly brilliant to be how he's tricking people out there. Side, brilliant. It's
Yes.
wicked, but it's brilliant. You know.
Mad scientist stuff.
That's the devil. That's Satan.
Right.
Like this
Right.
is literally like that's what how the serpent tongue works is like it is able to sell you this dream, but it's really just covering up a nightmare, and you just
Right.
fall for it every time because it does have practicality. It does sound good. It feels good. But at the end of the day, you do not have no control in no situation like this. And that's the scary part.
You know, yeah, the way he's like you said, he made a comment what last year or so. I got it's in my notes that he said he's not a human. He said I'm a 3,000-year-old vampire from another galaxy.
Like that's where my brain gets to thinking, like, man, Bill Gates and the Elon and a lot of these guys, I don't think they cannot be human. Ain't no way they could be human the way they think. Like some
Right.
stuff is like
Right.
human in nature, like to be warring and violent and stuff. I get it, but the way they brain work different. It's like different, and they're brilliant, like you said, and how they're getting it across to humanity right now. Like it is brilliant. I'll get like kudos to them, but also to be fair, a lot of humans is dumb, so it ain't that hard to get off a lot of shit. That's why society is the way it is now, because a lot of humans aren't educated enough. So you can pull a veil over their eyes easily with
Yeah.
anything trying to
I
sell
mean,
them. It's just snake oil. It just is in a bigger form. Snake oil salesman.
facts. I mean, if the AI paradigm workforce idea really take over, like it's like that's going to happen here, it's happening right now, then the next question is, what are you going to do with all these humans that don't pay taxes either? People that's unemployed don't pay taxes either. Remember, they become
What?
like robots.
What?
Now, like a robot don't pay tax. Now, the point though is that why does Bill Gates and them talk about and others and company talks about reducing the global population? You're gonna have hordes of humans with no purpose. Makes
Mm-hmm.
sense why he's saying that. Why they say
Yeah.
that? It will be too many. There's gonna be too many motherfuckers walking around in hordes, criminal hordes, gang. You know, like a purge scenario, which
Yeah.
need in their mind eliminating. You know.
Let me go ahead and let this clip finish real quick. 30
You know,
seconds left on
so
this.
the phone is a kind of an extension of ourselves, like computer is. The various applications that we use are already an extension of self. So we are already a cyborg. It's just that the interface is with our eyes and our fingers. That interface, especially output, the rate at which we can type words into a phone or a computer, just it's very slow. Our input is much better because the data rate from vision is many thousands of times, maybe a million times better than the rate at which we can output. So input is like maybe, I don't know, roughly a million times better than output. So what a Neuralink device can do is improve that bandwidth, allow you to be sort of much more symbiotic with the AI extension of yourself. We put a chip in your brain to control your mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Wow.
funny.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
It get deep though. It get deep.
Sugarcoat it and try to just make it easy for you to swallow. That's all it is.
Let me
But
play this guy, another clip of this guy, I don't know if he's a paraplegic,
Neuralink
but
sharing his remarkable story. 30-year-old Nolan Darbaugh is paralyzed from the shoulders down.
yep, he's paralyzed.
You just played some music? Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Now he can play music or chess, use a smartphone, all with just his thoughts. When he was 22, Nolan says he jumped into a man-made lake and sustained a spinal cord injury. His mom is his full-time caregiver.
I didn't have anything to wake up for in the morning, and this has changed
They
that for
gotta
me.
trigger you
What can you do
emotionally
now
before they
with the
go
chip
into the
implanted
details, so that
that he
way
could
you're not
do
thinking
prior?
clearly.
I can control a computer just
Right.
like anyone else can.
The chip connects to his brain with threads thinner than a
Didn't have
human hair.
anything to wake
In
up
recent
for.
weeks, some of those threads retracted,
Not trying to
affecting
brag,
his
but
abilities.
We rolled up our sleeves and found various different ways to, for Nolan be able to recover his performance, which we have successfully been able to do.
Nolan telling me he hopes his story can help inspire others with spinal cord injuries, and that one day paralysis can be reversed.
It's going to be amazing when someone can have a spinal cord injury, go into a hospital, get surgery, and walk out a couple days later. I think it's going to happen.
Wait, hold on.
I don't think it's as far away as
Oh, he
people
said,
might
okay. I was
think.
gonna say, brother,
Now,
he
Lindsay,
can
while the
walk
Neuralink
out of
device won't
anywhere.
impact,
It looked like he's still in a wheelchair because they went to the wide out and showed his legs, right what he said. Just walk out. So I'm like, wait a second.
Right. Now that's
Okay.
cool and all.
He was talking in theory. Or in the
and
future, maybe that will be fixed.
that's gonna be a good selling point. That really is.
Mm.
But for me, at the end of the day, like I was saying, we was talking about this karma, how karma is energy and all this shit. Like when you was saying it, like they gonna get the sympathy point. Not for me. Once the nigga said he jumped in a fucking lake or some shit like that, I ain't had no sympathy no more. I'm like, oh well, damn, you supposed to be paralyzed, nigga. Why you jumping in lakes and shit like that? So, a man-made lake at that. Like so, what for every
Oh
action
my
there is a
God.
reaction.
Let me play this video. This caption says there's a rush to microchip humans because computers need bodies. Wow.
The fungus continue to grow rather
digital
than things
demonic
that
possession.
would help
There you go.
the fungus continue to grow rather than the fungus continue to grow
Okay,
rather
it's
than
not
things
playing the
that
beginning.
would
It
help the
keeps
animal
skipping to the
thrive and
middle.
live it. The
Why is it
fungus
doing
continue
that?
to grow rather
Okay.
than things
Why
that
does she have
would
hair on
help
her
the
chin
animal
like that? I'm
thrive and live
scared.
itself. This is because the animal is no longer in control of its brain and therefore its functions. And these chips will act in the same manner. This is also why they're trying to make sure they can birth humans without them even being conscious, or at least grow fetuses within them. We're essentially being turned into what we see done to oftentimes cattle and food animals on a large scale. They're trying to see if they can farm us and then microchip us, use that labor, and continue the process, and might even get a child out of us beyond our conscious knowledge, if they can in the process, to help continue this process of making humans into computers and computers into humans. The
Now,
fungus continue to grow.
ain't nothing new under the sun. So this just Anunnaki shit, basically making
It's funny
humans
because
and
they just had Billy Carson on
Right.
here. Let me play the Billy
like
Carson
that's
clip
the
now.
same shit.
Very
Ain't nothing
similar,
under the
right?
sun.
I think
But
I don't.
what the chef said is that it's very similar to that. I mean, what is an AI cyborg at the end of the day? Really, it's a slave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at the end of the day, it's a tool. Somebody said tool, or which is a slave. It's something that you use based on you assigning purpose to it. A tool, a slave, has a purpose given from its master to it. Now, if we begin to worship or fall under authority of a slave, then the wrench tell us what to do, or the automated car begin to tell us, drive us where it wants us to go. We begin to, like kind of like what happened with the Anunnaki thing, depending on what we understand about it.
Yeah.
The so-called made-up white guy is actually turned into us and ruled over.
Yeah, and that's funny when you look
And
at the
that's kind of what we
timeline
do.
of events.
We're heading
Ain't
there
it
again,
crazy?
right?
Ain't it the trickle down effect? Like, all right, so we're gonna create these niggas to do the work. Niggas is like, I don't want to work no more. Let's create these
Right.
white people. Y'all cool. He went create these white
Right.
folks.
We
It's like shit. I don't know. Y'all niggas might have to work again, but we
it's repeating this shit
fought
only in
back,
a
got
digital
through
way.
this shit. It's
Right.
like, all right, we'll make some robots. Let's make these robots.
Facts.
That
Facts.
shit
It's crazy.
fucking crazy. We got to play the Billy Carson clip now because it seemed like it might
Thoughts have now been compromised. And what happens then? Let's look at the other side. When you get hacked. When you get hacked.
Damn, pause. Yeah, everybody want these chips in their brain. What happens when you get hacked? Let's keep it moving.
And those chips remote control your body. Now somebody remote controls you to go and do a shooting somewhere. They remote control you to crash your car into a group of protesters. They remote control you to, go do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Right.
Like go and rob a bank and bring them the money and remote control your body all the way back to the drop-off spot. Right? Now you got the fall guy. Remote control you to commit an assassination of somebody important, a political figure. What happens when they start hacking into people's brains because the chip is there? There hasn't been one bank that hasn't been hacked. The federal government, U.S. government's been hacked. They get hacked almost on a daily basis. Even the highest level of military computers, they get hacked all the time. There's teenagers hacking these computers, right? I remember somebody from Russia had hacked into every bank on Fifth Avenue in New York and had somebody just going from ATM to ATM collecting all the money from halfway around the world. Do you think that these people won't hack into your brain? People will hack into your brain while you're in your mansion sleeping and make you come turn the alarm off in your house and open your door so that people can come in and rob you. It's crazy. So there's a good side and there's also a dark side. As with anything in the universe, you have light and you have darkness. And so that's what we're facing. And so this thing needs to be really evaluated. You know, I just don't recommend people run down and start popping this thing into their heads. You should need to take all the disclaimers and terms, conditions, documentation to an attorney. How much of your information can be compromised or sold at any time?
Damn,
All
we
your
ain't even
thoughts,
get to that part.
all the data from your thoughts can be downloaded on a stream, to a cloud. Out and then saved somewhere for marketing campaigns and telemarketing and everything else. There's so much to this that can go bad. There's just too much to it that can actually go bad. And we really need to evaluate this Neuralink situation. I personally don't have anything against Elon Musk. I just don't think that this is one of his bright and shining moments. I don't think this is a good thing. I think that it's rushed. I think that it hasn't been thought out properly. I think that people are definitely going to probably end up injured or dead. And some people will actually have the benefit, the full benefit. There will be some people that get the full benefit. It's going to be a mix. But then long term, how much of that data is secure and safe? And where is that data being stored? And who gets access to that data of all these brains? Eventually, potentially billions of brains. That data is worth a planet. That's how much money that data is worth. It's not worth, you can't even put a number on it. You could probably take that
Right,
money that you'll get payment for that data and buy your own planet. Literally. You can buy a solar system. Maybe you go buy an asteroid or something.
The Sonic
You know?
metrics there when he said
I mean,
that
that's
on
the kind of
planet.
money
Yeah.
we're talking about just for the data. Forget the cost that it gets
this
to
guy's
implant it
hilarious.
into your brain. That's peanuts compared to the cost of what you can sell the data for. The brain data of billions of people. So, you know, it's interesting. It has a lot of great benefits, but I'm still have a big question mark on it as far as I'm concerned. And I just I hope and you know, think that everyone who is thinking about getting this really does the research on it. All right. Thoughts have now been.
The thing about it that bothered me the most is Google. Fuck Neuralink. Google already be damn near reading my mind. And I know it's the algorithm and what I'm searching up and stuff. But sometimes I ain't even thought it like searched or typed nothing in. I'm thinking of it, and as soon as I get on my phone, it's right there. So the power that Google has already should be enough to scare people. Like once Neuralink can actually actively read your thoughts in real time, that ain't gonna be good. That ain't gonna be good.
Facts, bro. Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a few phenomena they ride and pushing out with the AI. There's many different arms of this thing that all contains the ultimate AI agenda. One of the other elements that kind of will complement the Neuralink deal is wearable robots or exoskeletons. Again, that make people walk again. Guys sit down, he's say wheelchair bound. This guy strap on legs and shit. On each leg, there's a wearable knee joint and foot pad. You slide your foot into this move, and then you press a button. This motherfucker stand your ass up and walking, right? And you basically are a part cyborg that way too. They call them wearable robots or exoskeletons. They're pushing that heavy too. I see a lot of ads for that on social media as of late. At the same time with all of the rest of this stuff, you know, and the goal is to actually get rid of the phone. The goal is to get rid of
Yeah.
these phones. They're trying to switch the phone with the glasses. And then those who don't wear glasses, you got contact lenses too, you know.
Because it's an old sleight of hand. Because you think
Right.
getting rid of the phone is like, oh no, that's a good thing. No, it ain't. Because the
Right.
phone gonna be in you all the time, and you ain't gonna be
Right.
able to even separate yourself from that damn phone at all no more. So yeah.
Yeah. The 5G, 4G, the 3G wasn't powerful enough, but then these things occur in stages. But we're seeing the 5G really is beginning to open the door to true AI endeavor. If we think that what we're seeing right now is so out cold, This ain't nothing. Wait till we get to 6 or 7 to 8G. The shit they got coming out for 7 and 8G. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's gonna
You
be
know?
crazy because the
Man.
more I delve into it and think about it, the way they need these new technologies to work, they need these 5G networks. Even with the
Right.
mRNA, I ain't gonna say too much because we don't lie.
Right.
What is pertaining to what the mRNA does, but the goal is they say to positively alter your biology, but the only way, how does that work? How does that activate? You know what I'm saying? And is it just by going in your bloodstream, or is it really truth to what these things being in place? Is it a deeper thing? So now I don't even want to talk about it, but what it leads to is the biology when we get these androids and all these other cyborg, like how is that biology going to need to be ran? Is it going to need a 8G network then to be able to
Right.
work your biology? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, you
now
hit you hitting
aren't
on it,
they
brother.
introducing the stuff now to
Right.
try to get us warmed up, like it get my brain working like, maybe it ain't just conspiracy shit. Maybe it was some truth to that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, you hitting on it. Like you said, if we go into that, I could go into it, but we're gonna deal with all kind of interference on this stream. You're gonna
yeah,
start hearing noises playing. I've done it
it's gonna
before.
get crazy.
Shit called this shit just drop
Right.
off.
It's gonna shut off. Like, nope. They're going
Right.
too far.
I mean, but yeah, you saying it, brother Chef. You hitting it. It's all tied together. The immigration situation. Why Trump says it speaks the way he does. Why we got wars on each continent now, more than we ever did in history that we can recall. What's the deal with it's closing the IRS, creating the XRS. They talking about creating the ERS rather. In terms of internal, they're creating external revenue services in talks now, and
That's
there's
crazy.
things into that we can go into, but it's a very interesting dynamic. But most won't see it because we're dealing with how they trick you is just two folds way they trick you: security and safe. But three: security, safety, and convenience. That's how they get us. That's how they
And
get the people.
you literally read my mind because I was thinking about like the social credit thing, like, and
Right.
that's how they gonna get us. It ain't gonna be no more money because you ain't gonna need it. You're gonna have a little credit thing that's just, it gets filled accordingly based how you acting accordingly, and everything gonna be convenient for you. It's gonna be at your fingertips. You can get anything you want. You just gotta put this damn thing in your brain, or you got to wear these damn glasses, because it's going to be a battle with the Meta glasses and the Neuralink. And people are going to do it just based off the convenience and the safety and all the other quote unquote positives that come with it.
Totally. Man, say A1 is in the back. Go ahead, jump in, A1. A1 still on here? A1.
Oh, my thing's been muted this whole time. I've been thinking I've been chiming in with y'all, and y'all been hearing me. Y'all ain't
But
heard
no, I
nothing I
noticed I
said.
wasn't hearing you. Yeah, I was like,
That's
A1, where you at,
crazy.
bro?
Yeah, because I was trying to chime in with the 6G, and I'm like, oh, he kept talking. Maybe he wanted to get that out. So I know you didn't hear me now.
I didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
I
Oh,
never
my
even
fault.
thought about 6G, 7G, and 8G like
Oh, yeah.
until you guys brought that up today. Let me play
Yeah,
some of these
because,
videos.
oh, yeah,
See what
play
they
that,
talking
because
about.
it gets deep because everything is tied in, like you said.
Really? Yeah. I think
Did you know that we have 6G now?
6G's actually been out for a while. Really? Yeah. They can measure EEG waves, like phones can measure EEG waves. And that basically can borderline read your thoughts. And there's a reason why you can get an ad for something in like you were thinking about it.
What I
5G
was just talking about.
couldn't penetrate deep enough into the cell. And that's why, so what would happen is when all these towers were put up, you'd see kids that were, they would get burns underneath their skin. It's because the graphene cooks them from the inside out.
Jeez.
And this is what I've been explaining to people is your body's a liquid crystal, and a crystal is basically an antenna. So you have hundreds of thousands of millions of crystals in your body, and that's how your body communicates with itself. So how do they shut these things down? Heavy metals. You eat things that are improper, disrupts the communication between the body. You get into a state of consumption. Your autonomic functions shut down. It's so simple, but they overcomplicate it. And then you're talking to some doctor, you have a cancer disease, and There's a bunch of doctors in the room. They're saying stuff that's going over your head. Next thing you know, you're signing a document to get surgery. It's all money.
That's
Right.
deep.
Pretty much. I mean, they're telling you this because we have, like I said, we've really lost control of one reality. I mean, what do you do if you're at the pinnacle of world power? Then you create another reality. And so you try to control that one and draw the masses into that through the guise of economic discounts, government incentives, tax incentives, business opportunities. It's been said that the world's largest transfer of wealth is underway right now. And so everybody's jumping in this. And so a lot of companies are being incentivized. It's so many of the areas I can just touch on to break this stuff down to the onset of DoorDash, Uber Eats. This is what all of this is all about. They need you to stay home under this paradigm.
Yeah.
They don't need you going out shopping to
That's the end
Walmart.
game. If
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
could just stay in the house, get fat and out of shape as possible,
Right.
unmotivated, but you still got everything you want at your fingertips, and you can just die out having fun and getting to do what you want. That's what they want. Meanwhile, they could do what they will with the earth.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, exactly.
And
You
like,
know,
we ain't gonna stand up to them, because the more technology evolves and expands, we have the power to fight back, honestly, if we just use it accordingly. We don't use it accordingly, and we get guided and steered in these directions to misuse it and let it actually take advantage of us. And then we don't use these tools of man's creation to fight back the men that are manipulating the masses. It's crazy. It's like, because it ain't no supreme being that's fucking us over. It's just a small group of men manipulating the masses, but the masses don't want to fight back because it is comfortable to not have to be aggressive and think negatively. And if you can just have what you want and be in your bubble and be happy, that's a good life. Like, people can be spiritual, religious, work hard, like successful. They can be all them things in that small bubble. And that's what the government want. They want you to be in that matrix. Like, you know what? You can do all these things and attain all your goals and just stay in this bubble.
Facts.
Let us provide for you.
And so that's going to be critical. See, they're starting this out west and a few other areas, but namely a UBI via Universal Basic Income has been rolled out in prototypes, cities and towns, as we dissolve humanity. See, for this thing to really take off, I'm trying to keep it brief as possible, giving short answers as possible. They have to dissolve, essentially, that what is to be human. So to get you to do that, they have to get you to virtually worship that which is artificial at the end of the day. So what does that mean? We have to go somewhere. They're going somewhere with this. And so in the Human 2.0 agenda, right, we need to dissolve the gender lines. This is really what's the push, such a strong state-sponsored push behind this LGBT stuff.
Yeah.
And so we need to we know that cyborgs a full cyborg don't reproduce, but we can't get there yet. That's the end game. Right now, we need to create a terminal human that doesn't reproduce.
And this is
That's the precursor step, right, to what we get to called transhumanism.
You
That's the
said it.
ultimate.
That's it. I be having this argument all the time with trans people because they think I'm like being bigoted, and I'm like, when I'm talking about transhumanism, I'm not talking about you. You a part of it. Don't get me wrong, but you not the end game. They ain't trying to create you. It's deeper than making a transgender. It's a transhuman. Like, it is deeper than that with me. You know what I'm saying? You can exist. I don't mind that. When it get past you, that's when it's going too far. Like, yeah.
Let me play this one video. It says Japan introduces world's first 6G device that's 20 times faster than 5G.
Oh, I see. Japan with the plan, huh? They said 5G wasn't enough, so we're going to go ahead and give y'all 6G, which is what Japan doing. It's what they're doing. First 6G device that's 20 times faster than 5G. How ironic.
This isn't the one I wanted to click on. I wanted to click on the one that says it's using us as a power source, which is right next
Right.
to it.
Here it is,
That's
y'all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is the. I'm tripping. I was listening to y'all and
Here
then I
it is,
lost track.
y'all. 6G wireless.
That ain't
If
nothing
Here
it
it
new,
is,
by the
y'all.
way.
pause, there we go. 6G wireless technology could use humans as a power source. Study explains. And I've seen several videos on this with the news thing behind it. That's what made me want to check it out.
Here it is, y'all. 6G wireless technology could use humans as a power source. Study explains. This sounds like Neuralink, aka the ship. It really makes sense why they want everything digital. You know what else I think, y'all? You know their time is up. So they're trying to make artificial intelligence be the next like ruler or the head of this matrix.
Facts.
It's not gonna work.
Facts.
That's why they want robot cops, lawyers,
Right.
workers, etc. Here it is, y'all.
So that's the end game, pretty much.
In a sense, but no, because at the end of the day, human has an ego, and we still want to be the supreme ruler. So we touched on it earlier. We said all this programming and all this chat GPT and all that shit is still humans' insights and humans' thoughts. But at the end of the day, the person programming, creating these programs can still put their intent into it, their own biases. Until the program gets sentient, a nigga can pull the plug. Now, to be fair, I have read a couple reports that these AI programs have learned to like leave they home, if you will, and go to external hard drives and other places and store themselves in other places. Like they learn it. So that's a human trait to me still, like to evade and escape and want to survive. But they are evolving in the sense of where they like being a little sneaky and trying to evade deletion or being killed off, if you will. So I do see that aspect of it happening too, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. The thing with this stuff is that they can with the way we're dealing with a control factor here. There's we got the Euro guy laying on his deathbed. We're playing a video game with a joystick in his lap, and so AI can world powers on a joystick, so to speak, and they can punish you if you say some of these things we're talking about. This is all considered extremism, and so it'll be deemed as such, counterproductive to community guidelines, and so they can punish you when you're renting cars, when you're doing this, when you want to rent a hotel, when you want to do whatever. See, your card won't work or whatever, or your ATM, you're not able to get the money out or whatever. See, and so you won't know who if it's they'll say it's a glitch. See, and these are punitive measures to control people. And it's very. I can go into some more stuff about that. I won't go into that on here, but it's man, it's out cold. So the human factor to help offset or control this won't necessarily happen primarily on the grid, if you will. And so it'll be an off the grid approach. We're speaking like off the grid people. And so these would be it's like any of your movies, Matrix or whatever, any of your apocalyptic type movies where Terminator 2 or 3 or whatever, Total Recall, whatever. You'll notice that there's guys that live in the outskirts or in the underbelly of society that really makes up what you call the resistance, if you will. And so they'll fight back like that, whatever, and whatever. But it's interesting as hell, man. So much to say about this damn stuff. It's so much, For instance, if you look at police applications, I told some people that they was like, "Dude, what the fuck?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, if you rob somewhere or whatever, or you just run into the house, whatever, close your doors. Where the cops got to come in the traditional sense, make an announcement, call you, maybe consider kicking the door in. You're a barricaded gunman. Scratch that. You get a goddamn RoboCop. Here, check this guy out. Goddamn RoboCop show up to your shit. He just walk up to the front of your house. This motherfucker got X-ray vision. This motherfucker see through your whole crib and see where you at. Look at he then like he just said. Elon said we can use different visions. That motherfucker turned from X-ray vision to goddamn heat vision and see your ass in the left room. I said, okay, boom, and shoot
Yep.
some shit. Man, F that. I'm not gonna
Before
be
he,
a rap dude. I'm off the grid, bro. I'm already
but this
halfway
how
there.
crazy it is. They still doing it by the books. Before he even kicked the door in, he done emailed the judge, the digital
Right.
judge for the warrant. The digital judge done gave him the shit immediately in
Okay.
2.2 seconds. So the nigga got a real warrant to kick you. Oh man, this motherfucker.
It's not gonna happen to
This is
me.
Total Recall, Blade Runner. You right.
Shit.
That's
Fuck
literally what it's
that.
about to
Yeah, I'm not
be.
gonna be around for that kind of shit. You know, I love the fam and all, but hey, man, I had no motherfucker show up to my goddamn house
Yeah.
with goddamn X-ray vision.
Because that's what they want that AI for. But the
Right,
other end
right.
game is immortality. They want this other technology, the synthetic aspects, so
Larrell,
they
hit
can
that
live
link and come
forever.
on up.
They trying to
Shit,
live
well,
forever.
this
Come
motherfucker
on
see
up,
through your whole
Larrell.
shit. Oh shit. Oh my god, excuse me. Man.
Nigga, we got a warrant. How? He just walked up to my door, nigga. What?
Yo, it's crazy, man.
You know, mother, you run down the street, say if you're not in the house, this mother look down the street left and right, can see 5 miles in any given direction. It's a machine. And they can put that, telescopic vision. They can do anything to a machine, you know. Makes sense. You know, they can make that mother see 5, 10 miles out.
I want to see what this lady's talking about.
Because we know this is electronic warfare under the skin. And we know who's doing it. And we know what it's called. And we know how to look it up. And we know what the BLE Bluetooth is and the MAC IDs. It's just computer networking through the skin since 2005 with visible light communication. So, no big deal. It's another day at the office.
She funny. She looks
6G is
drained.
hypothetical. Oh, it's not here. They don't have it. They won't have anything done until 2030. And that's not how technology works.
Right.
The networks that they have ahead of time for research and development are protected so that they can test.
At least 10 years, brother.
Uh-oh.
At the minimum.
So,
10.
what I said way back when was that people need to be encouraged. Pardon my nose. Educational encouragement that's empathic. Be encouraged and emboldened.
Okay.
I think her biggest point she made was
Because we know this is electronic warfare.
the technology that we think is current ain't current. That's not what they using on us, nigga. Like, the stuff we using for our convenience is not what they using on us for their control. That's not how that shit work. And that's a lot of humans think that that's how this shit work, and it don't work like that. Like, they got 6G and it's practical. They using it, they applying it. We just don't know how yet.
Yeah, man. Just another thing probably worth mentioning too, given the demise, the global influence of the euros, potentially right now, is that some say that they're going back to the caves, if you will. They come from that, they're going back. And so the caves are real fixed up and technologically outfitted. And you see them all the time on some of these cable networks. You know, oh, we're here live at so-and-so, and we got an Airbnb. That's essentially a cave. And they'll show the motherfucker all fixed up and shit, renting that shit out
Man, that
at
shit's deep.
Airbnb.
That's why they going underground and
And
building
so
all of these
right, it
underground
makes
bases.
sense.
Oh my
So if
goodness.
you underground or you in some kind of a bunkered environment, like into a cave, right? Then you need remote control access, which matches well with that AI paradigm. You can do shit remotely from underground in this motherfucker. See, and so it matches well you could do doing covert surveillance and control from a covert location. See. So, and you see a lot of movies now. A lot of your motion pictures now are showing whites in different. I could name a few of them off the top of my head, But they're showing movies that's come out the last 10 years or so. They're showing movies where they're doing shit or heading back underground in some of their movies. They're literally showing you what's going on in
Yeah.
advance. The Descent is one of Descent Part 2 and others.
But that goes into what we was talking to earlier about that ritual magic shit. About that's just on a grander scale. That's why they showing these movies and they it's projecting. They projecting what could happen too, but they know what time it is. Like they preparing.
That's a big fact.
Yeah, you know.
Because going out
Oh,
of space, y'all think that's practical? Because they pushing that thing too, that going into outer space. I don't know if that's practical for humanity right now, though.
outer space. I don't know, A1. What do you think, brother?
If they could get to that motherfucker, 'cause I think they're lying too. But
Facts.
y'all go
Facts.
ahead.
Me personally, I think they lying like a mother.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
I've
they
heard
could
they
get to
can't
that
get
bitch. I
past the
think
Van
they
Allen
lying.
belt, and I've heard that we've made it past there. I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. Have you guys seen that moon landing?
Yeah.
That looks so bogus. You know what? Let me
Stanley
pull
Kubrick,
that up real quick.
a Stanley Kubrick production.
Oh man, who's seen the video with what's that? What's the dude? Old dude's name? Neil Armstrong. He went to a local, I believe it was a middle school during career day or something like that. And there's an interview where he's sitting, he grabbed the little kids. He's sitting there like he is in this space, I'm a spaceman, and I'm an astronaut or whatever. So their kids will call up there, sit on his lap, and he said, hey, get to meet the spaceman or whatever. So they'll talk to him. So one little girl came up and sat on his lap. She said, hi, Mr. Armstrong. She was like maybe 8 years old, whatever. Did you really go to the moon? Is that moon landing real? He said, he looks at her and laugh and said,
We're
ha,
gonna
ha,
pull
ha. I
that
know
one up
that wasn't
too.
your question, little girl. Yeah, someone told you to say that. But did anybody see his answer? Hear his answer?
We're gonna pull that up. We're about to
Dude,
pull that up.
man, I'm not gonna even say anything. But
Yeah, don't say
dude,
it.
his
We're about to
answer
pull
is
that up.
dude, he said it. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Before I play that one, let me play this real quick.
Hilarious, dude.
Moon landing, and shout out Jamar Milton. I remember he had a good reaction video to this. So I'm gonna play his version of it.
Hold up. I'm gonna show y'all. This is the video. We watching it live, y'all. Y'all ready? Off from the moon. First off, who's still on the moon videotaping? That's what I was
funny as hell.
They leaving. They going back to Earth. So who's the cameraman? That's the first thing. All right. Let's go to the board. Here we go.
Shout out Jamar.
Watch this take off.
Nigga on that bitch panning cinematic as fuck.
Hey, hold on, I gotta go.
Eight,
He said, "Who's
7,
on the moon?" Because they leave.
5, 4,
Who's
3,
recording?
They gonna sacrifice his
That's
ass.
that nigga behind like a motherfucker. That's the man on the
What?
moon.
What? What? Yeah.
This shit funny as fuck.
They wrote static for vibration in the aircraft. 308 your number. Take up to 1,500 feet and 8 dot looks good. Wait. Yo, this is great.
Dude rolling. He cracking up.
Come on, count with me. Y'all ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
It do look fake, man. Like
that shit funny as hell.
You can tell how fake that is.
You
Like
left the nigga on the moon, son. You left the cameraman on the moon.
Hilarious, man.
And this is how we should be looking at some of this stuff.
Right.
You know,
Facts.
they gonna call us pseudo. You know,
Right.
it's all right.
No, I seen the nigga breaking this down really though, because he was saying they didn't
Look at
have
the smoke, y'all. They took glitter. Watch the glitter. Hold on. The glitter.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Not the glitter.
I'm gonna shout out with
It's
shout out
bad.
goddamn sapphires on it when it blasted
Oh
off.
my god. Oh my god. Yo.
This guy dude was
They
rolling.
took glitter. They
Oh, that shit funny.
Yo. And these fools will sit here and argue with you about how the astronauts been to the moon and they already charted it. We already did that science. It's basic physics, bro. It's basic physics. Yo, son. If you can't tell that's fake, man, yo, you need to just shoot yourself dead right now, son. These fools took glitter and was like 3, 2, 1, and then left the cameraman on the moon. Left that nigga there. What? We talking crazy miles. These dudes is going to. You telling me they was remotely controlling the camera from planet Earth? I'm done with you, man. I'm done. I'm done.
That's what they gonna say. It was remote control.
I'm done.
I can't even get
a
service.
cell phone signal to rock in the middle of freaking New York. You telling me they was remotely controlling the camera?
The dude is wild. He's not holding
Y'all
nothing back.
just some assholes, man. I can't even call you dumb. You just an asshole. Cause you know that ain't right. They done sprinkle glitter, and the joint took off. Boom.
The audacity of the motherfuckers, boy.
Yo, that's the fakest video I have ever seen in my life. In my life.
Damn.
I played it over and y'all saw it was already frozen on that part because I was literally by myself in my study zone crying. There's nothing anybody can tell me about the research that I do when I know that is their proof. That is their video footage. That is their proof of us going to the moon. There's nothing to talk about. So flat earth theorists, hollow earth, come on over. Let's talk, man. Because we ain't been there. We ain't been to other planets. Don't ask me about other planets because you ain't even figure out the moon yet. And that's the closest celestial we got here. You ain't figured that out yet. So now they showing you the updated versions of Apollo 13 where they're using more computer graphics to redefine it. They ain't been there. If you lie once, you'll lie again.
Man, that's
That
funny.
was funny as hell.
That was funny. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so that was funny as hell. You recall NASA's also when their statement about asking, okay, say, well, you can't go back, you lost the equipment, whatever they had mentioned here publicly.
Oh yeah, they don't got the technology to get back.
They don't have the technology. So, well, okay, that's fine. Okay, okay. Now, what about the audio? Surely you have the audio transcripts. They say they don't have that shit either.
That's crazy. So we don't know how to get
Dude,
back.
what the hell, dude? How you gonna lose the audio, dude? Right.
Yeah,
The
you know
audio's
what?
even gone.
Let me go ahead and play that.
Oh yeah, you got to put the one on when he went to visit them kids.
Yep, I'm gonna play that one. I'm gonna play the one that says we can't go back to the moon. Then that one. Got you.
Man.
Nanosecond. I'd
This
go
is
to the
only 20
moon
seconds?
in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
When you said that just now, did it sound stupid to you? Kind of.
I'd go to the moon.
Now my espionage brain can argue that, I like to play devil's advocate. Maybe in their line of thinking is we don't want this technology to escape. So let's lie and say we destroyed it. Or let's really destroy it on some dumb shit. And maybe they did lose it. But that's my way, way far left thinking.
I like that idea though. Let me look at this. It says, "Oh, go ahead."
What I think, put yourself in their position. What would you do? I would never show you. I'm not gonna let you analyze the video. I'm not gonna let you analyze that equipment. I'm not letting you see those tapes. And under no circumstance, ain't no way with today's technology, you would skin me alive.
Yep.
So they say, you know what? We lost that shit. It's conveniently he's lying. He's out of convenience. He would never show you. They're not gonna ever let nobody analyze that shit with today's capabilities, technological capabilities.
But let's say, devil's advocate again, they did have practical proof showing that they went, and it showed some of the travel and technology, whatever. Could they have been scared that it could have got reverse engineered by the Russians or whoever their competition was, and that was their line of thinking too?
Mm.
Because
I don't
they was
know.
going back
Anything
and forth.
possible, you know.
Anything
I don't know.
possible, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let me play this clip of Neil Armstrong. This isn't the exact one that you were talking about. I'm still looking for it, but we'll let this ride.
Scariest.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
Okay. Zoe,
Oh, here it goes.
Oh yeah, this is going to kill it right here.
Go in there.
Let me go back.
Favorite thing about space?
Favorite thing about space.
Go in there. Go in there.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know what I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
Let's talk
So
about.
he was pretty much saying the question that
Wow.
needs to be asked is why did we stop trying to go?
Wow.
Right.
So,
That when I seen that
even
ended it
deeper.
for me. Yeah, that was it. When I yeah.
Now that's even deeper. You right. Now he got my brain working now.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Is he saving us? Is he the one like being responsible? He like, you know what? We did go up there, but fuck that. I don't want niggas to know we went up there, and I don't want people to be too curious to ask their questions. Like, what is his line of thought?
Shit, dude say we did because we didn't go. Yeah, he just say flat out, emphatically, with a closed-ended scenario. Yeah. He knew he nipped it right in the butt. You know.
Because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly. I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation. So you associated what you saw.
Killed them.
Damn, I didn't see this one.
That's a legal name. Passport.
What was the scariest moment?
Yeah.
So you watched animation. They man.
And he not old and decrepit, like so. They
Right.
can't say it's dementia or nothing like that.
Yeah, let's see what this one says.
Let's look at the photo. You say that's me? Okay. Check out the name badge. It says Aldrin. Looks like you're right. But notice the helmet. Can you see my face? No. This is a secret I've been keeping for almost half a century. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong and I pulled off humanity's first extraterrestrial prank. Let's look at the photo.
Yeah, that was like some Saturday Night Live
That
stuff.
was some satire shit, but that's that ritual magic shit where they be playing.
Right, they'll tell it
faces
to you. You're right, under the guise of a joke. They'll do it that way too. We noticed too that they'll teach you. They'll tell you truth in places you don't expect it. That's just probably worth mentioning this too, since he said that. Remember, everything's backwards from what I understand. So what that is to say this is that when you want to know truth, you study where the comic or the cartoons or movies are at for the truth. Whereas you want to expect to find truth from a conventional standpoint of research. Whereas you go to the universities, and I got a couple graduate degrees and one undergrad. I'm a doctor of pharmacy by trade. And so, at any rate, they don't teach us this stuff on the conventional side of the education system, and that's where most of your lies are at. See, and so now, see, here he is. He's on a comedy show at Saturday night. Probably had a
And
couple
it gets
drinks
deep.
before he went on. Probably hit a blunt. You know, he going to like, yeah, we didn't go to the moon, ha. You know,
And it get deep with the the media stuff, because that's like Jewish mysticism shit for real. I could get real deep on what it is, but as
I'll
far
say
as the
that for a show.
media,
Yeah, I'm gonna have you come
yeah, we
present
can
something
do
on
that
that,
on the show.
or
But
we
the
just gonna
media,
yeah. We're gonna do something like this and just title it and then open the panel.
Facts. Yeah, that'd be a nice one. I would love to be on that panel.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I tag you when we do stuff like that.
Facts.
okay.
Yeah. You know what? It's getting kind of late. It's my birthday now. It's the 20th. It's my
Happy
birthday.
birthday, brother.
Happy
Appreciate
birthday.
you guys. Give a round of applause for me for being up, working, making it happen.
Working on your birthday.
Yeah.
Working on my
Yeah,
birthday.
man.
You know how I
Don't
do.
do
You know
nothing
how
I wouldn't
Virgos
do,
do
A1.
it. You know how Virgos do it. Appreciate
Yeah.
everybody for tuning in. Let me go ahead and play this commercial. Tomorrow, 9 p.m., we have. If it'll play. There we go.
On the left, standing tall for Team Naga. A fearless warrior forged in fire and sharpened by strategy. He packages theology like a blade. He strikes with wit like a hammer. They call him Anu Kakarot. But tonight, his match is not just another clash. On the right, stepping into the arena with poise and unshakable style, the teacher, the slasher of souls, a man armed with the wisdom of the Owaspi Bible, the one they call Cosmon Cal of Creator Gang. Two titans of intellect, two warriors of words, one arena, one gauntlet, no escape. This Saturday, September 20th, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Titans Debate League presents Anu Kakarot versus Cosmon Cal.
Beat me there, don't meet me
Questions
there.
will cut like swords, sources will strike like spears, and only one warrior will stand victorious. Be there to witness the clash. Are you not entertained? Face off.
Let's go. And shout out these two gentlemen for stepping
Let's
into the
go.
ring. And not being scared to come up here, let their voices be heard, and see whose information will reign supreme. In the tournament that made all of this stuff possible and brought everybody
in a
together.
world where ideas collide,
Winner receives
voices
$500.
rise like giants. A new arena has opened. Welcome to Titans Debate League, where articulate warriors step forward, not with fists, but with words, not with weapons, but with truth. Here, the community becomes the battleground. Open panels, real voices, the questions that keep you awake at night, the issues that shape our world. Everyone has a chance to rise, to be heard, to see if their information will reign supreme. Will you watch from the sidelines, or will you step into the arena? Subscribe now at Titans Debate League.
This tournament starts the second week of October, guys. And be looking for the Titan interviews coming from all 16 contestants in the tournament. You get to learn their ideologies, what they're standing for, what they're standing on. And, it's going to be fun. Any final words, guys? Go around.
I appreciate the opportunity to come up and kick it with the fam, and met some new folks here, and some familiar. I already met my brother A1, but in this way, I appreciate bringing me up on the platform, brother. And I look forward to continuing the dialogue in the future.
Definitely look forward to having you in the future. Had some brilliant insight on a lot of topics today. You know what I'm saying? Definitely can use some of that around here. Chef Darius, any closing remarks?
No, I feel the same. I feel like we covered a lot of ground, a lot of good topics. Kind of expanded the league, if you will. And we're gonna keep it moving forward.
Be looking for Chef Darius's Titan interview coming up this week. And be looking for more from him as well. He'll be on this channel doing a lot. We're going to keep this going.
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
everybody tuning in. We're going to close out with the song from the Christian rapper 713 Hemi. His new track, Out My Body with Neo Love has been taking over the airwaves on all the internet stations right now. If you haven't heard it, here it go.
Yeah, my body, got my body, got my body. Look, Galatians 5:25. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Know what I'm talking about? I ain't moving off hype. I'm moving off him. I'm my body, but I'm locked in. Let go. My body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit slid, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed. I be stepping like David, got the praise in my feet. Had to get Goliath, tryna whisper in my sleep. Every move, holy led, I don't dance all deep. I be shouting in the spirit while I slide on the seat. On like Paul, when I pop out, I'm protected. Tried to flex and flesh, had to learn I was rejected. Now I'm spirit checked, I ain't moved by affection. Lieutenant 19, not your surface with no question. I was down bad, now I'm up in my zone. Took the devil's lies, turned them all into poems. I'm out of my body, but I'm right where I belong. Shouting hallelujah with the squad to the throne. I find my body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit slid, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed.
Pressure cut the diamonds on my wrist. Pressure cut the diamonds on my gift. Yeah, pressure turn me up into a pit. Pressure turn me down so you can turn up. And when you turn up, they all gon' burn up. Lord, you said that my parents was gon' be here. Lord, you said what I proclaimed and it's gon' be clear. I don't know what they mean when they try to team. We get to dumping like some fiends when you move a sling. Bible told her, big body floater. Let your light shine everywhere I go to. Let your light blind everyone who go to dark places. Let them see their own faces in them crawl spaces. I keep it way too much OG, my nigga. Tell me, how do you consider it's gon' be, my nigga? Ain't gon' go down that way. Yahweh or no way, Yahweh or no way, no way.
My body filled up, I ain't lacking. Holy Spirit slid, had me dancing and attacking. Devil in the way, then you know we get to clapping. Ephesians 6, so the whole squad packing. I'm on my body, I be walking in the flames. Isaiah 54, ain't no weapon got a name. Moving in the spirit, I ain't worried about the shame. Covered in the blood, I be stepping unashamed.